Good morning. How are you guys? How's it going? I got my coffee. We're playing a game about a cafe and a bakery, so I felt like it was only fitting that I also make coffee. I hope y'all are doing well. Let's see, who took my first today? First was taken by Zelfar. Thank you so much, Zelfar, for taking my first. Makes me very, very happy that you could be my first. Oh my god, may the fourth be with you and also with you. Oh my god, all I think of is that fucking meme of like, today is my birthday, and because it's my birthday, I get to show you my girlfriend. That's all I could think of when I hear May the 4th now. But welcome in. Let's see who got their daily pillows. We got Jacob on YouTube. We got Zelfar, Coffee, Swordsman, Barb, and Darren. Welcome in. Legit, just now discovered there's a game called Cthulhu Saves Christmas. Oh my god, I gotta add that to my queue for Christmas time. Let's go, Indigo, and play some otome games. Yeah, this whole week I am streaming every single day this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We are playing otome games. And today we're starting with Bloom, which is a Fae Cafe otome. Very soft, very cute. This is the main character right here. Also, you can see we have like an espresso tamp for our little pointer. I think that's pretty cute too. Yeah, this is the main character. So this is our player character. And then these four are the romance interests. I will say I'm most interested in these two right here. They've been catching my eye with all the promos and teasers I've been seeing for this game, which by the way, this game is free. This game is just straight up free. If you also want to play and maybe you want to romance her and have a Yuri moment between them, you can download this game for free off of Steam. And enjoy your Yuri dreams. Easy peasy. I just want to throw that out there. He's also seems very sweet. I have a thing for this specific type of man. So those two are just like genetically designed in a lab for me. So let's go ahead and start. Yeah, you can have a beautiful wolf girl Yuri. Isn't that fantastic? Prologue, Chapter 0. Thank you. Come again. The bell at the door jingles as the customer leaves the cafe. I sigh, once more enveloped in a peaceful quiet. Sunset seeps in through the open windows, bathing the room in soft pink light. A light breeze gently blows the curtains around. With no other customers around, I reach for a cloth to start cleaning the coffee bar. The hi shorts, welcome in. Back and forth, I move the cloth across the counter. Something about the motion, combined with the serene atmosphere, is soothing. The only sounds are the sweet chirping of the birds and the distant rush of water through the street's canals. Astra? Do you have a moment? My body jerks, so startled by the sudden voice that I freeze mid-wipe. Seems like working in silence for hours has lulled me into a false sense of security. Behind me stands Sylphia, smiling knowingly. She definitely wasn't there just a second ago. You do that on purpose, don't you? Sylphia's smile doesn't change, her face as placating as ever. Certainly not. Why would I ever want to scare you? That's what I'd like to know. Sylphia doesn't respond. Instead, she rounds the counter where I've been cleaning and settles into one of the chairs lining the bar. I'd like your opinion on something important. Her tone is calm, but there's a seriousness in her eyes. I straighten, a little curious. With Hallis's popularity increasing, I've been thinking of ways to revitalize the cafe. If we want Bloom to thrive, we can't just keep doing the same thing forever. I've lived long enough to know that that just doesn't work. In other words, I'm looking to spice things up. Spice things up? I want you to help me make some changes around here to help boost our patronage. Really? That sounds like fun. I'd love to help. What kind of changes are we making? Well, I have a few ideas. I was hoping you could help me decide. Me? But, I've barely been here a full year. Should I really have a say in this? Of course, I trust you. Besides, who better to help improve our little cafe than its #1 fan? My cheeks go red with embarrassment, though what Sophia says is accurate. However, underneath that embarrassment lies a tentative excitement. Alright then, what were you thinking? I've narrowed it down to 3 possibilities. Option 1, we focus on the menu. Not that there's anything wrong with the one we have now, but it could certainly use a refresh. I figure doing something seasonal might give customers a reason to come back over and over again. I do love seasonal menu items. I'm a sucker for a seasonal menu. Option 2, we really hone in on the community aspect of Cafe Bloom. We become a place that not only serves good coffee and food, but a place that creates a space for local artists and creatives to gather. Option 3, renovations, stronger branding, and actually marketing ourselves instead of hoping people will stumble across us. Or, more simply put, the overall atmosphere. What do you think? If I'm being honest with myself, it sounds fantastic. Having the opportunity to work on a project like this, knowing that Sophia trusts me to do it, is the opportunity of my dreams. Can I really do this? To anyone else, this might seem like a simple request, but for me, this is a step forward in my career, a chance to further earn my place at Cafe Bloom. Was a hi, Red. Welcome in. Though it's small and simple, I love it with every ounce of my being. In a short amount of time, Cafe Bloom has become special to me. Every day is fun as I spend my days learning how to make coffee, interacting with customers, and working beside Sophia and Albion, despite what one of them might say, are some of my closest friends. Seems like I've made up my mind already. I'd love to help. Great. I didn't have a backup plan if you were to say no. I suppose I could have asked Albion, but yeah. Sophie and I share a knowing smile. Good thing I said yes then. Yes, everything fell into place perfectly. I don't think we have to rush, but I thought it might be nice if we could choose which plan to execute by next week. No problem. I'll do my best to consider each option thoroughly. Was a hi, Nitra Owl. Welcome in. I already put together a budget to pay for anything we might need, so no need to worry about that. Just don't work yourself too hard. I know what you're like. I think I can manage that. Then we have ourselves a deal. Sophia reaches her right hand out to me from over the bar. My left hand mirrors hers, sealing the deal. What an exciting way to start spring. Yippee! I think I want to do the seasonal menu. I think the most important thing for a cafe is the food. I think things like marketing and community naturally form when you have a place that people come to for the actual food too. I say as I drink my coffee right meow. Warm sunlight filters through the nearby window, the bright rays forcing me to finally get out of bed to confront the day ahead. I sit up and reach my arms up, which sends a pleasant shiver down my spine. For a moment, everything's calm, and I let myself slowly adjust to being awake. The conversation I had with Sophia is slowly coming back into focus, and the weight of what I've been asked to do is starting to sink in. I lean forward to rest my elbows on my thighs with my hands laced together on my lap, thinking. Drawing in more customers. All of the options Sophia gave sounded great. How am I supposed to pick just one? If I'm gonna choose, then I had to make sure I consider each idea carefully. Got a week to decide. I wonder if Sophia told Albion already. He works at the cafe too. Maybe I can ask him if he has any ideas. Albion's been working at the Cafe Bloom for a little longer than me, and while he is amazing at making coffee, his social skills are some of the worst I have ever seen. Still, it's worth asking his opinion. At the very least, I'm not going to make any decisions just sitting around in bed. A light knock sounds at my bedroom door. Astra, you up? I made us some coffee. Guess that's my cue. I'm up. I'll be out in just a minute. You better be. Don't let my hard work go to waste. Okay. 1 minute, I promise. 1, 2, 3, 4. The sound of Quinn counting down fades into the background as they walk away from my bedroom door and into the kitchen. I chuckle to myself knowing that Quinn will seriously count for the full 60 seconds. I should hurry. Quinn will be sad if I let their coffee go cold. Recently, Quinn's asked for help in learning how to make coffee, though I'm not sure why, seeing as they don't seem to like it very much. In the beginning, the results were disastrous. Every cup was either seriously watered down or horribly bitter, but they've slowly been improving. The thought of fresh, warm coffee, no matter how mediocre, fills me with just enough energy to get dressed in record time. And that's my cue for me to sip my own coffee. I do love coffee. The window over the kitchen sink is open, letting in the fresh spring breeze. Outside, I can see cobbled streets and hear the birds chattering in the trees. There it is, our beautiful wolf girl Yuri, as promised to us. My eyes catch on Quinn, who stands at the counter with 2 mugs in front of them. And 60. Here, come sit. I think you'll like this one. I followed all of your many instructions to the letter. Quinn pushes one of the 2 mugs closer and gestures at it with an open palm. I grab the mug with both hands, letting the warmth of the coffee seep into my palms. The feeling is so relaxing that my eyes start to shut. Hey, don't fall asleep. You have work soon. The tap of Quinn's pointed nail against the countertop beckons me back to the present. Right, coffee, work, no sleeping. I focus on the drink before me, taking a deep breath to really hone in on the scent of coffee. It's nutty and a little smoky. Ah, this is the dark roast I picked up from the market after work a few days ago. For a brief moment, I allow myself to feel a bit of pride at being able to recognize the notes so readily. My research is paying off. The corners of my mouth turn up. As usual, the smell of coffee alone is enough to lift my spirits. Astra, please just take a sip and tell me how it tastes. Sorry, but you know the aroma's important too. I can tell a lot just by smelling it, and Yes, I know, the aroma tells you things your tongue can't, blah blah blah, trust me, with the great sense of smell, I get it. I really do, but you're taking forever. A fond smile breaks across my face, but I refrain from saying anything else and finally bring the mug to my lips. I take a second sip, partially because I'm trying to get a better grasp on the flavor, but mostly just to mess with them. I make sure to keep eye contact as I take long, drawn-out sips. Well, hi, Barb. Welcome in. You're very funny. Seriously, though, how is it? Much better than last time. A little watery, but that's no big deal. With the way things are going, I'm actually starting to worry about my job. Watch out, I'm gonna run Cafe Bloom out of business. Quinn finally takes a sip from their own mug, but in contrast to my own sigh of contentment, their eyebrows pinch together and they open the icebox. Ugh, actually on second thought, I think you should keep your job. I don't know how you drink this stuff black. It's like drinking tar. And yet you try it black every time. Because I think maybe one day it'll be good. Black coffee is an acquired taste. There's a lot of people out there who will try to tell you that if you put anything in your coffee, you're drinking it wrong or whatever. They're wrong. You can drink your coffee however the fuck you want. I do drink it black sometimes, but I had to crave it. I had to crave specifically black coffee in order to drink it straight black. Normally, I'm at least adding a little bit of sugar, but usually I'm also adding creamer. It's yummy. It mellows it out. It rounds it out. There is nothing wrong with drinking non-black coffee, gang. What matters is that you enjoy the beverage. Also, hi, Mita. Welcome in. I prefer my coffee black. Yeah. I mean, for sure. There's definitely, like I said, I had to crave it, though. I can drink it black, and I do on occasion, but I definitely do like the flavors of like syrups and cream and stuff like that. But not straight, only gay. True. Yeah, I only drink my coffee gay black. So when they it's when they put in like those cute little cups. It's still black coffee, but it's in a cute little cup. So hi, Jeremy. Welcome in. Quinn takes another sip of their drink, which is now more milk than it is coffee. Ooh, coffee milk. Oh my god, dude. Coffee milk black tea would be so good right now. Oh. Have you guys ever had coffee milk black tea? It's so yummy. The best of both worlds. I love drinks that combine coffee and black tea. I think they're so underrated. Like, genuinely, they're so underrated. Isn't that basically a frappuccino? Frappuccino is blended iced coffee with creamer in it. But the thing with the frappuccino is it's blended. And technically the Starbucks frappuccinos, I don't think they actually have espresso in it. There's no coffee in a frappuccino. It's basically ice and milk blended. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But some places do actually put in like a shot or two of espresso. Starbucks does it wrong. True, I don't like Starbucks. Hot take, which isn't very hot. It's like lukewarm at best. Lukewarm take. I don't like Starbucks. I think it fucking sucks, dude. I do like their refreshers. I like their non-coffee. Anything on their menu that's not coffee, I do like. But like, they're a coffee shop, bro. Like, get your shit together. What are you doing? How can you not do the one thing on your menu that you're known for? Like, I'm sorry. It's not good. And way too overpriced. I'm not paying $11 for a fucking double frap mocha cappuccino with Java chips, you know? Yeah, I worked there when I was in college. Their coffee's bad. The refreshers are good. Yeah, I do like the refreshers. I will give them that. When they have things on the menu that aren't coffee, they are tasty. But also, refreshers are basically juice with caffeine. Like, let's be so real. Of course it's going to taste good. It's juice with caffeine in it. Anyway. Much better. I can't help but wonder why they even drink coffee in the first place if they're just going to drown it in milk and sugar. Hey, is it almost time for you to go? Trying to get rid of me? Never. Who'd pay the other half of rent? And they were roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. Oh, wow, is that all I'm good for? Kidding, but you really will be late if you don't leave soon. A glance at the nearby clock shows that Quinn is right. If I want to be on time, I should leave now. Okay, I'll get going. I gather my things, which are all conveniently located next to the front door. Keys, backpack. Hey, Quinn, have you seen my... Before I can even finish my sentence, Quinn's hand appears in front of me, holding exactly what I was about to ask for. I decided to try my hands at writing a BL story. I'm rubbing my little hands together like a fly right now. Yes. Coffee thermos. Already filled with fresh coffee. You're amazing. All right, I'm off. Thanks again. You're welcome. Have a good day at work. Quinn closes the door behind me, likely going to get ready for their own day at work. Once the door is closed, the sounds of bubbling streams and overlapping voices come into focus. As is typical of a spring morning, the air is slightly chilly and I shiver whenever the wind picks up. I curse myself for not grabbing a jacket before leaving this morning. It's easy to feel like you can handle the cold in the warmth of your own home. Fortunately, I don't need to deal with the cold for too long. Just until I make it to work, which thankfully only takes about 30 minutes. The commute to work is usually enjoyable, save for the winter months when the wind becomes especially biting and harsh. I should remember not to take this weather for granted. Alright, at this pace, I should make it just in time to catch the next boat. They're like, yes, write that gay love story. Me, when it comes to Yaoi and Yuri, I start cackling maniacally and evilly, all according to Keikaku. Translators note, Keikaku means plan. Upon reaching the dock, I climb onto the boat and settle in for the ride. The ferries make the transportation a breeze and also gives me a chance to gather my thoughts before work, so I often look forward to it. I lean against the railing of the boat to admire the view of the city streets arching out in front of me. Hallis is one large circle separated into 8 blocks. There are 8 canals in the city, but 2 of them are rings following the city's shape, and thus are the most efficient for traveling between blocks. Currently, I'm riding a ferry that'll take me from Block 4, where my apartment is, into Block 6, where Cafe Bloom is located. Before I know it, the ferry comes to a stop and I arrive at Cafe Bloom. The first thing I see when I walk into Cafe Bloom is Albion. He's standing at the counter in the middle of what I assume is the order for the only customer currently in the cafe. Look at him go. Albion looks like he's concentrating deeply. His eyebrows are furrowed, a common feature for him. If he weren't a nymph blessed with eternal youth, I'd worry that his face might get stuck like that. He's perfectly manicured, clothes crisped and unwrinkled. His hair is soft and expertly styled, showing off the Aria's signature bright hair. Is that your type, huh? Duh, did you not see my own VTuber model? Hello? Do you think I made this VTuber model just purely out of aesthetic sense? It's because these are all the traits I'm attracted to, bro. I made my VTuber in the image of what I'm attracted to, obviously. Everything he does looks so effortless, and everything about him is perfect. Except... well, look what the cat dragged in. Except when he opens his mouth. Dairy model hot. Thank you. Ditto on the model logic. Yeah, baby. I walk closer, moving behind the counter towards the break room to put my stuff away. As I pass Albion, my gaze drifts from the ribbon of his apron, which is tied neatly in a bow. In a split-second decision, I decide to play a small prank on him. Albion absolutely hates being perceived as anything less than pristine and perfect. No harm in poking a little fun. I make sure to catch Albion's gaze, and once I have it, I point towards my stomach where my own apron would be tied if I were wearing it, and whisper, "Your ribbons come loose." For a moment, Albion looks genuinely distressed as he looks to feel for the bow before realizing he had been tricked, sending a withering glare in my direction. Oh my god. He bought it, bro. Oh, I feel so bad for him. Like, he just wants to look nice. Anything else he might have to say in response is stolen by the air as I quickly enter the break room and close the door behind me with a smile. I hang my bag on one of the hooks and turn to write my name on our timesheet. Made it right on time. Signing complete, I reach to grab my apron, but just before I can snag it off the hook, I'm startled by a sudden voice. "Good afternoon, Astra." "Ah!" My sudden shout interrupts her attempted greeting and she laughs softly. "Sorry, Astra. I didn't mean to startle you." "Are you sure about that?" Sophia laughs, shrugging her shoulders. "Think of it as training. You're too easily startled." "Training for what?" My question is ignored as Sophia deftly changes topics, something she is quite adept at. "How was your morning? Was Quinn's coffee serviceable today?" "Yes, actually. They did a really good job. In fact, if things keep going like this, you might have a new employee soon." "Please, you and Albion are all I need. I have the best baristas in Hallis." A laugh escapes me and I grin widely. Sophia is always kind, and while I know that she would never replace me or Albion, it's nice to hear it out loud. "Oh, you mean it?" "Of course I do. Speaking of, you should go join Albion at the bar. I'm sure he's getting lonely out there by himself." "Oh yes, I bet he's dying for some attention." Sophie and I lock our eyes, our poker faces only holding for a brief moment before breaking into twin grins. "Have fun. I'm about to head out for a supply run and Albion's leaving after lunch, so you'll be closing alone tonight." "No problem. It's not like I haven't done it before." I turn to grab my apron, again, which I had forgotten after Sophia startled me, and tying the ribbon tightly. I also make sure to tuck my pen, paper, and stopwatch in front of the pocket before heading back to the cafe. Albion's still at the bar, though it seems he's finished making the lone customer's coffee and has moved to some light cleaning. I see a few dishes in the sink, so I move to get a start on those while Albion continues to wipe down the countertops. I thought I might be able to make it through an entire shift in peace. Peace is overrated. You would say that. Behind me, I hear the bell and the sound of Albion welcoming in the next customer. I make it to the sink and pull on a pair of bright pink gloves and begin to work on the dishes that piled up before I arrived. I fall into a rhythm, one that frees up my mind enough to travel along the same path that had tread this morning. What is the best way to appeal to more customers? As it stands, we have a fairly loyal and consistent customer base. Whichever of Sylvia's options I go with, I should keep in mind the core experience that our regulars come back for. I can feel a hint of anxiety starting to form in the back of my mind. No, Sylvia asked me to do this for a reason. I just have to trust her judgment. Eventually, the dishes in the sink start to disappear, but I continue to be lost in thought. Astra. Astra? Hey, Astra. I feel a sharp pain on my cheek. Ow, you pinched me. I called your name 3 times. There's no more customers and all the dishes are done. What else was I supposed to do? I don't know, maybe tap me on the shoulder, snap your fingers or something, you know, like a normal person would? I cross my soapy gloved hands over my chest, making a face which lets Albion know of my disapproval. So, what's up? Albion stares at me for a few seconds, like he's reconsidering this entire interaction before his face screws up and he lets out a loud sigh. What's wrong? Huh? Oh, he's being a little tsundere. He noticed that we're thinking extra hard. He knows there's something weighing on our mind. It's not that I didn't hear him, but rather that Albion rarely asks anyone anything. He isn't really interested in the lives of other people outside of what he's required to know about them for work. At least, that's what I thought. You were spacing out, just staring at an empty sink. It was starting to get annoying. Huh? Albion's permanent scowl grows more intense, if that's even possible. The strain of asking me what's wrong clearly short-circuiting his brain. Despite my efforts to stay strong, his expression makes me smile, clearing away any annoyance I previously had. Why are you smiling like that? No reason. Thanks for checking on me. Huh? I wasn't... Yeah, whatever. Thanks anyway. Albion clicks his tongue, turning away from me. Going back to work. Albion starts to walk towards the seating area, first reaching into a cabinet to grab more cleaning supplies. Yeah, it's not like I like you or anything, energy. I know, he's so fucking tsundere, dude. Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. Alright. Wait, I actually wanted to talk to you about something. He pauses, not yet turning around. He doesn't say anything, but from his stillness, I can assume he's listening. Yesterday, Sylvia told me she wanted me to do something to bring in more customers. And she asked me to choose how we go about it. It's subtle, but I can see Albion's body twitch as he turns back around to face me. When is he gonna sing the I'm Not a Dere Tsundere song? Oh my god. For my birthday, my sister gave me an Inuyasha pin from my request. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so? You're impossible. So, I was wondering if you had any ideas, you know, since you've worked here longer than me. Is there anything you want to change or something you think I should know? Not really. Things run pretty smoothly around here. So there's nothing you can think of? Nothing. Are you sure? Saints, yes, Astra, I'm sure. I find it hard to believe that someone as meticulous as you can't think of a single thing you'd like to change. Actually, there's one thing I've noticed. Really? Yeah. You always stick your nose where it doesn't belong. Ouch. That wasn't funny. It wasn't supposed to be. I feel a spike of anger in my chest. Here I am, seriously asking for Albion's opinion, for him to give me something, anything helpful, and this is how he responds? What do you mean by that? I belong here as much as you do. I don't believe there's nothing that comes to mind when you think about improving Cafe Bloom. It's not possible. Well, consider it possible. Go pester somebody else with your questions. There's nobody else I could ask, Albion. We're the only ones here. Astra, please. Enough. I gave you my answer already. For a brief moment, Albion looks shocked at himself, but it doesn't last long before he's back to his usual scowl. What? Nothing. Never mind. Fine. Forget I asked. I'll just figure it out on my own. I don't know what I expected. Me either. Albion turns away sharply, grabbing the cleaning supplies once more and moving off towards the seating area as far from me as possible. Oh, he's the type that doesn't like change, huh? He's got very strict sense of routine. He wants everything to be nicely in its place, perfectly expected. He doesn't like surprises. That's the vibe I'm getting from him. So the idea of actually changing anything in the cafe actually is like something he doesn't want to happen. The next few hours are spent in tense silence, only broken when either me or Albion are forced to interact to serve customers. When Albion finally leaves, he does so without even saying goodbye. The rest of my shift passes by uneventfully, until sooner or later it's time to close up. I head into the break room to hang up my apron and sign out before leaving for the day. I lock the doors behind me before making sure to tug on them, double-checking that they're locked properly. Alright, time to go. I think there's a time to stop by the market on the way. I deserve a little pick-me-up after this morning. It is about time to stock the apartment anyways. Plus, I want to buy Quinn a treat in return for the coffee this morning. It really had been much better than their previous attempts. Conveniently, my favorite market street is located in Block 5, the perfect bridge between my apartment and the cafe. As a result, I end up going there quite often. I walk slowly, enjoying the fact that I don't need to rush, taking the time to go through the list of things I need to buy. The sounds of voices grow louder and more concentrated as I walk, leading me right to the center of the market. I spot a few familiar vendors, but as usual, there are plenty of merchants and traders that I've never seen before who must have traveled from outside the city to be here. Though one thing stands out to me, or rather, a person. Over by one of the storefronts, a man is crouched on the ground, painting on the front windows of a flower shop. Ooh, he's a window painter, huh? Ooh. Intrigued, I walk closer and try to get a better look at what he's working on. It's beautiful. They're just simple flowers, but the color and details are so lifelike that it looks like someone captured real flowers and pasted them on the window. I move in even closer, and before I know it, I'm crouching next to the painter himself. I glance over at him thinking that I should ask him about his work, but he hasn't realized that I'm here at all. The first thing I notice is that his overalls are absolutely covered in paint. How the fuck did you get paint all the way there, bro? Did you body slam the wall or something? How did you get paint on the outside of your sleeve? When he finally turns to look at me, I find myself looking into the richest, deepest eyes I've ever seen. Look at him, he's so cute. I want to wipe the little bit of paint that's on his cheek. I want to and then, you know, lick my thumb and then wipe it off. The color found in the center of the sunflower. Ah, caught red-handed. Are we having a staring contest? Because if that's the case, you gotta tell me first, otherwise it's not fair. The man grins wickedly, and I realize I had definitely been staring, and not just at the painting. Okay, I'm ready now. 3, 2, 1, go. I can't help but laugh at his delivery, causing my eyes to close instinctively. I win. You weren't even trying. I wasn't ready. One more time, come on. Fine. But if I win, you tell me what you were doing. Deal? Deal. The stranger counts down once more, and the staring contest begins in earnest. However, any hope I have of winning is quickly dashed, and I feel a quick puff of air hit my face. Hey, that's cheating! Whoa, the winds are pretty strong today, huh? Hi, Astra, welcome in. That wasn't the wind, you blew in my eyes. I have no idea what you mean. So, I won. What were you doing? I grumble and glare unseriously at the stranger, but I decided to be honest, despite the fact that he obviously cheated. I was like, hi, pupper, welcome in. I saw you as I was passing through the market, and I just wanted to get a closer look. I nod my head towards the window. You're painting. Not you. Well, not you. I mean that. Anyway, your work is really good. I wanted to see the deals up close. That's all. Promise. The whole time I explain, the man's face doesn't shift at all from the grin he wears. If anything, his smile only grows wider. After I finish speaking, he takes his right hand and wipes it roughly against his overalls before sticking out for me to shake. My name's Felix. You? Astra. It's nice to meet you, Felix. Sorry for sneaking up on you. No worries. I'm flattered, honestly. I'm happy to hear you like my work. He gestures at the window behind him. I love it. Do you do this full time? Yeah, I got my own studio over at Block 2. I take commissions to do just about anything. Murals, portraits, windows. If it's got anything to do with painting, then I'm your man. Maybe it's the way Felix is still grinning, or maybe it's the way he seems so approachable, but I dredge up enough confidence to ask him another question. So, where can I find you? Open to see me again? Is that a crime? I don't know. Depends. Are you gonna follow me around, watching me work all the time? It was an accident. Felix laughs heartily. Okay, I won't tease you anymore. Here, I'll even give you my card. It's in here somewhere. Felix begins patting himself down and digging through various pockets of his overalls to find the card. Ah, here you go. I also sell paintings at different markets. You should keep an eye out. Thank you. No problem. Well, I better get back to work. Gotta wrap this up before I lose the light, you know? Maybe I'll see you around? Yeah? Yeah, see you around. Felix, huh? Oh my gosh, I look down at the card in my hand. Something to consider. Alright, back to running errands. The rest of my time at the market passes uneventfully, and after an hour or so, I'm weighed down by various bags of produce, meat, and a special jar of honey for Quinn. The only thing left to do now is find a carriage. Should be easy enough. Within the next few minutes, I flag down a carriage headed for Block 4, and soon enough, I'm back at my apartment. The apartment's quiet when I walk in, meaning that Quinn must not be home yet. They're probably staying late. Again. As the owner of their own boutique, Quinn makes their own schedule and often stays late either making sure everything's running smoothly or just talking with the customers and coworkers. I guess I'll make us some dinner. Quinn should be home by then. With that thought, I start preparing to make dinner, and by dinner, I actually mean breakfast, since that's Quinn's favorite meal. I want to show Quinn just how much I appreciate their serious interest in making coffee. Especially because I can't think of any other reason for them to do so other than just to make me happy. Quinn has a way of making people feel truly loved. Trying to one-up Quinn in that respect is an impossible game, but making breakfast for dinner seems like a good start. After thinking about it for a few moments, I settle on making something simple that still uses the sweet ingredient I bought. Honey pancakes it is. I fall into a comfortable rhythm, finding myself lost in the motion of whisking and flipping 6 perfect pancakes. 3 for me, and 3 for Quinn. Or maybe 2 for me and 4 for Quinn. They can't eat much more than I can. Yeah, let's go with that. As I cook, I use the time to reflect on my day, knowing that when Quinn comes home, they'll want to hear everything. It's sort of a tradition that whenever we have dinner together, Quinn and I will take turns telling each other about our days. It didn't happen today, but I should tell Quinn about Sylvia's proposal. I still didn't get the chance to last night. What's up? Oh my god, very lazy fat cat. Welcome in. How are you? Thank you for the follow. But thinking about the cafe inevitably makes me think of Albion. The way he brushed me off was so hurtful, but he was angry too. I wonder why. Now that I've had some time to calm down, I am curious about Albion's reaction earlier. I mean, sure, he's stubborn, inflexible, horribly blunt, easily annoyed, and constantly scowling. Even so, the way he reacted earlier seemed out of character. Back when I first started working at Cafe Bloom, I made plenty of mistakes, but I had never heard Albion raise his voice like he did today. I've known Albion for almost a year now, and yet it seems like I still know next to nothing about him. We'll have to talk to him sooner or later, so I suppose there's no use in thinking about it too hard. As I reflect, I watch the last pancake cook on the stove until it browns enough for me to flip it over. The door swings open and Quinn walks into the apartment. Oh wow, it smells amazing in here, Astra. They gasp, quickly shutting the door and dropping their bags to run up behind me. Pancakes? I laugh, placing the final one on their plate. Your timing's perfect. We can eat together. I found a really nice jar of honey at the market this evening, and I wanted to make you something in return for this morning. This morning? The coffee. Oh, right. Well, in that case, I accept. You're the best. With the pancakes finished, Quinn and I stand at the kitchen counter talking about our respective work days and indulging in the sickly sweet pancakes. Quinn talks about the newest items at their boutique and gives me updates on the latest gossip they heard from their clients. The next few minutes are filled with stories about various clients and whispered rumors, nothing I haven't heard from them before. You're a fiend for drama, aren't you? That's not my fault I can hear practically everything that goes on in there. But yeah, I am. Hey, you have the day off tomorrow, right? Why don't you stop by Voyage at 12? I could show you the new products. Oh, right. I can stop by after I get coffee in the morning. At Bloom? Maybe. You know what you like, that's for sure. I'll take that as a compliment. It is. Okay, your turn. Tell me about your day. Well, this didn't happen today, but yesterday Sylvia actually asked me to help her in deciding to plan to get more customers in a Cafe Bloom. Really? Astro, that's great news. I think this is right up your alley. You love Cafe Bloom. If anyone can do this, it's you. Will Albion be helping you? Considering his reaction earlier, I doubt it. No, I don't think so. I tried talking to Albion about it to see if he had any ideas, but he didn't seem to want to talk about it. Well, I don't know Albion too well, but he doesn't seem to be very good with that kind of thing. Maybe he just needs time. Regardless, I have every confidence that you can do this, with or without Albion's help. And of course, you can always come to me if you need anything. Thanks, Quinn. I'll keep that in mind. If Albion changes his mind later, then that would be great, but if not, then that's okay too. I tell Quinn about the rest of my day, regaling them with the story of how I met the painter at the market. Somehow, I only have to deal with some light teasing regarding our encounter. By the time the two of us are done chatting, our plates have long since been empty and the sun is well and truly gone. Alright, I think I'm going to call it a night here, Astra. Thanks again for the pancakes. They were delicious as always. Of course. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Night, Quinn. Night-night. I should get some sleep too. Tomorrow's a day off, but there's no harm in being well rested. The dishes can be done in the morning. You gotta let them soak overnight. Sleep claims me quickly and quietly, marking an end to the day. Chapter 2. I wake up naturally. No alarms, no knocking, no surge of adrenaline caused by the idea of being late. I take a few long, deep breaths, enjoying the lack of responsibility ahead. The last 2 days have introduced exciting new developments into my life, but I'm desperately looking forward to having a full day to do whatever I want. It's still fairly early. Only 7 a.m. according to the clock next to me. Oh, dude, I could never. 7 a.m. is like when I go to sleep. I am not built to wake up at 7 a.m. Plenty of time for what I have in mind. But first, a quick stop at Cafe Bloom for some coffee. It's inevitable that I'll run into Albion, but despite working there, it's only on my off days that I truly get to enjoy the atmosphere of the cafe without worrying about the customers. Save. If I refuse to change my routine over a little disagreement. Of course, Albion doesn't really get it. He doesn't understand why someone would want to come see their coworkers outside of work. The cafe is like a second home to me, so it's natural I want to spend time there, even on my days off. After that, the plan is to go to Quinn's boutique to check out the new products they got recently before going to the markets for lunch. Their shop's in Block 1, right by the southern gate, which, of the 4 major gates, is the busiest due to it being connected to a major trade route. So, all in all, I could see Quinn, eat some good food, and get in some good exercise. A good plan if I ever heard one. The kitchen is empty where I enter, and I glance down the hallway, realize that Quinn's light is still off. I'll try to be quiet. I gather my things quietly and slip out the front door, doing my best to avoid waking Quinn. The sun has risen, but the streets aren't crowded quite yet. That'll come in the next few hours. And so I stroll slowly, basking in the atmosphere of the early morning. I decided to take the ferry to the cafe again this morning. It's faster and more relaxing than taking a carriage. Plus, on a morning as nice as this, I could sit back and relax and take in the view from the deck. The sounds of rushing water grow louder, signaling my arrival at the dock. Perfect timing. The ferry's already here. The ferry looks to be about halfway full, leaving plenty of open seats. It only takes a few moments for me to settle into a seat near the railing. To my right, I hear excited chatter coming from a group of young teenagers. I heard my friend say she got a glimpse of the St. Kalen on the other day. Seriously? Man, I wish I could have seen them. I bet she made it up. The saint never leaves the sanctuary. But wouldn't it be so cool if she did see them? Imagine getting to meet the great St. Kalen in the flesh. Or better yet, see them flying over the city? Apparently the other city saints make appearances all the time. Lucky? They continue, gossiping about other various sightings related to the saint, but nothing they say is new information. There's a constant stream of rumors regarding St. Kalen, but at the end of the day, no one's ever really seen them with their own eyes. It's always, my friend said, or I heard from so-and-so that each of the integrative cities has a dragon saint who lives among them, but our saint, the water saint, hasn't been spotted in over 2 decades after access to the sanctuary was cut off. I won't lie and say I'm not curious myself, but whatever reason the saint has for keeping themselves is their own. Though not an all-powerful being, it feels wrong to spread rumors about the saint considering it's their power that keeps Hallis's water clean and safe. It would be nice to see St. Kalen, at least once. The ferry rocks slightly as it comes to a stop, jolting me from my train of thought. Quickly, I stand up to disembark before making my way to Cafe Bloom. When I reach the cafe, Sylvia is standing outside the unfolding chairs and setting them up on the patio for the day. After a moment, she spots my approach, pausing her work to call out a greeting. Oh, good morning, Astra. Good morning. Are you working today? I could have sworn today was your day off. No, you're right. I just came for some coffee. Well, you came to the right place. Go on in. I need to finish setting up out here, but Albion's inside. He can help you. All right. The bell rings when I enter, and Albion looks up from what he's doing, the furrow on his brow becoming more obvious once he sees who it is. Morning. Am I the first customer today? Well, we did just open. Right. Tension hangs in the air, filling it up like a balloon. I know I should say something. If anything, just to get rid of this horrible atmosphere. But I have no idea what I should say. Maybe sorry? Sorry for what, though? I'm not really sure. Maybe I can just pretend nothing happened? I don't have time to think too much more as the bell rings again and Sylvia comes striding in, dusting her hands off. One thing to note about Sylvia, she is a master at reading the room. What is this? It's nothing. Alright then. Astra, did you order yet? No, not yet. Sylvia's eyes flick over to Albion. Well, we can't have that. What can I get for you today? Do you want your usual or something else? The usual's fine. Thanks, Sylvia. No problem. Sylvia walks away, moving further behind the counter, leaving me alone with Albion again. I guess it's up to me to start the conversation, unless I want to sit in awkward silence for the next few minutes. So, what's up? How long did it take you to come up with that one? Less time than it took for you to come up with nothing. Albion doesn't respond to that, but he does appear less tense. Falling back into our usual ribbing seems to alleviate some of the anxiety gnawing at us. How's your morning going? As well as it could be. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. That's neutral. Neutral. Yes. Right. Okay, then I guess it's my turn. 4. Now you ask me, how was your morning? You know, you act like a little kid sometimes. I'm older than you. Doesn't feel like it. I lean my head into my left hand. You jealous? Albion raises his eyebrows. Jealous of you? Saints no. I chuckle at Albion's insistence. He takes everything so seriously. It's nice to be able to joke with him. The sound of the coffee maker comes to a stop, and Sylphia makes her way back towards the bar with the mug in hand. Soon, my usual is placed in front of me. A hot and steaming cortado, equal parts espresso and milk, the perfect way to kickstart my day. Thanks, Sylphia. You're quite welcome. I reach for the cup, ready to take my first sip when a plate slides into my periphery. I look up to find Albion avoiding eye contact with me, still avoiding my gaze. He speaks up. Breakfast. My treat. Oh, that's his way of apologizing. He gave me a free croissant. Also, thank you for the hydrate. I will sip my coffee. Look at his little blush, too. He's a little shy boy. It's true that I haven't eaten yet. Thank you, Albion. He nods before walking away, disappearing around the corner of the bar. Oh, that's a sweet little way of apologizing. Yeah, I'll accept free food as an apology. Apology accepted. As soon as he leaves, Sylphia leans down next to me and whispers conspiratorially. I've learned that when Albion does things like this, it's better just to accept it and then pretend that nothing happened. I understand. It looks delicious, but I haven't seen this one before. Are you trying new recipes? Not really. We were running low of some more usual stuff, so I used some of the fresh fruits I picked up this morning. Blueberries and strawberries are baked into the scone, and when I take the first bite, the berries are so juicy that my cheeks twinge in response. The menu at Cafe Bloom is pretty basic, offering classic coffee, tea, and scones. What keeps customers coming back is the high quality and the people. It's just something I threw together this morning. I didn't even try to make it myself first. Oh, so I'm your guinea pig then? Hey, Albion's the one that brought it out. Like a ghost, Albion appears now holding a glass of water, which he sets next to my coffee. I tried one already. They're good. Sylphia smiles at Albion, swatting his arm softly. Oh, high praise coming from you. This would be a great addition to the menu. Customers would love it. I'll keep it in mind for our final proposal. Sounds like a plan. I can't wait. With no other customers in the cafe, there's a sense of comfort and intimacy that permeates the air. Oh yeah, they're definitely going to see a fan drawing of Indy and Albion. Wait, because there's another character that I'm very, very interested in that we haven't been introduced to yet. I'm pretty sure it's the Saint. I kind of want to go for the Saint. We'll see. But I mean, I'm not opposed. If I end up on Albion's route, I would not be mad at all. Oh, with the hoodie, right? He's got like a cloak. Albion is super cute though. Yeah, Albion is very cute. I do love a cute little tsundere, but I do want to make sure I have all of the cast in front of me first before I take my little pick, you know? Good night, Barb. Sweet dreams. Thanks for hanging with me. It reminds me of what I hope to achieve with the new development plan. Cafe Bloom should be a place that everyone feels like going to. A reflection of the city itself, diverse and filled with warmth. Conversations flow for a little while longer. Eventually, my coffee and scone disappear in the blink of an eye. It's time for me to leave. Oh, it's almost time for Quinshot to open up. So I have to get going. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for the chat. Anytime. Okay, now to go see Quinn. Quinn's shop is located right near the southern gate, making it a prime location for an accessory and clothing boutique. When Quinn and I first moved in together, we were working in the same restaurant, but their goal had always been to open a boutique. Almost a year ago now, Quinn had finally opened their own store in a good location, quickly becoming a local favorite. Oh my god, thank you for the head pats. Though I suspect a large part of their customer base are just trying to get Quinn to notice them. Between their positive attitude and knack for getting people to open up, Quinn was quite popular. Hopefully they're free enough to chat for a bit. Standing in front of Voyage Étoile, I catch glimpses of new items in the shop that weren't there last time. Oh, that's her shop right there. Nice. Quinn travels roughly once a season, going to various cities and towns to source new accessories and clothing from vendors. It's what makes their shop stand out, as Quinn is often able to establish relations with all kinds of people, keeping the shop stocked with unique products. It doesn't take long before I hear a familiar voice calling my name. Astra, you made it! Quinn jogs towards me, grinning widely and waving. Of course I did. Are you busy? For my best friend? Never. And they were roommates. Come on, I have so much cool stuff to show you. Quinn takes my hand and starts dragging me inside. Along the way, I wave to the other members of staff as I pass by, most of whom I recognize from previous visits. I think I stopped for coffee. Quinn seems extra excited today. I must have gathered some really interesting items this time. The inside of the shop is busy, but not so much so that it's difficult to move around in. Still, holding my hand tightly, Quinn pulls me around, pointing excitedly at all the new items. They come to a stop in front of a display. On it are a variety of jewelry pieces, all constructed from shining pearls, glass, and shells. Remember that trip I took to Cholaire last month? Well, I was lucky enough to be there when mermaids were visiting the city. Mermaids? Really? How rare. Right? I found that they occasionally come up to the surface to trade things along the shore. Oh my god, Sally sells seashells by the seashore? I had no idea. Then these are all handcraft pieces made from deep sea pearls and colored glass. I've never seen anything like these before. So, what did you trade for it? That's the best part. They love regular everyday items that we use on the surface, like forks and dishes. Plus, once I mentioned that I sell my finds, a few of them gave me extra pieces. All of them seemed really interested in surface culture. That's why they do the trades. It's not like we use the same currency. They get to learn about their culture, and they get to learn about ours. That's a win-win. This pattern continues for the next hour, getting pulled along new display, hearing Quinn's travel story, and repeat. Once we reach the last display, Quinn lets go of my hand. And done. Until I find more stuff, of course. When's your next trip? I'm not sure yet. There's still some things I want to sort out here before I make any final decisions. What about where? Have you already decided that? Wherever the wind takes me. Maybe I'll go see one of the dwarven settlements. They're constantly coming up with new stuff, so I'm sure I'll see something inspiring if I go. The dwarves, huh? They do make the best tools. In fact, most of the ones we use at Bloom were made by dwarves. The dwarves do have their own settlement underneath Palace, but it's much smaller than the ones that are built into the mountains. It's hard to even imagine the scale of that. You'll definitely find some cool stuff there. Quinn smiles. I'm glad you see my vision. We stand in the shop for a while longer, chatting. At some point, some of Quinn's employees join the conversation. When the sun hits its peak, I take that as my cue to start heading out. I'm about to say my goodbyes, hoping to get to the Block 1 market in time for lunch when Quinn grabs my hand one last time. Wait! I set aside one of the pearl bracelets for you. It's yours, if you want it. Aww. Yes, please. Okay, I'll go get it. Oh, she got me a sweet gift. I can't tell her no. That'd be so rude. What the fuck? Quinn moves into the back to grab the bracelet and then comes back to stand in front of me again. They hold the bracelet out in the palm of their hand. Oh, look at it. It's so iridescent. It's very pretty. One of the mermaids Arwena told me about in their culture, wearing pearls is believed to help you overcome hardships. You're working on that proposal for Sylphia, right? Yes, but... Anyway, I thought this might help. Before I can even say anything, Quinn slides the bracelet over my wrist, tapping it with the final sense of finality once they're done. Always so thoughtful. Hey, seriously, thank you. You're always bringing me back gifts from your travels. Don't worry about it too much. Now get out of here. You're gonna miss it. Huh? Miss what? Don't me. You want to catch the lunchtime food stalls, don't you? If you leave now, you can get there before everything sells out. Right, I almost forgot. See you later. See you at home. And they were roommates. After I leave Quinn's shop, I decided to walk around the rest of Block 1, which has more shops than the other blocks. The main road is lined with market stalls, taking advantage of the increase in tourists that the city experiences every weekend. I could wander here for hours. With so many different races from both inside and outside Hallis, the selection at the market is limitless. With my mind set on finding lunch, I simply follow the smells of food to where I might find vendors have set up shop for the afternoon. I end up in a cluster of stalls selling various local specialties from nearby villages. Lines are already starting to form, so I quickly scan the area, though it's really hard to see anything. I stand on my tiptoes, attempting to see over the crowd to get an idea of what looks tastiest, and my hand on my shoulder makes me jump. Saints! What? Oh, sorry. Didn't think I'd scare you that bad. They reach out and grab me by the shoulders, studying me. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay. When I look up from my feet, I find myself face to face with none other than Felix. Well, this feels familiar. He takes a step back. Oh my god. 69 roll, welcome in. Roku raid, welcome in. Are you winning? How was your stream? Oh my god, surgeon simulator. Oh my god, doctor. I'll be your nurse. I hope you won surgeon simulator. Hopefully there weren't too many casualties. We're currently playing a very cute, fluffy romance game for the Otome game celebration. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, I'll be Nurse Dere. I got you. yeah, I got you. Yeah. Everybody line up. I'll give you your flu shots. I'll get out the big syringe. He takes a step back. Although, I guess it's more my fault this time. You here for lunch? Yeah, actually. What about you? The same. Well, sort of. I'm actually here selling some paintings. But I was getting hungry, so here I am. Oh my god. Nurse, I have a boo-boo on my forehead. Can you help? I got you. This is the Nurse Dere special. There you go. And now let's give you a shot. Let's say we did things previously thought impossible. Oh my god. Did you do some cute little medical malpractice? As a tweet? Just a little bit of medical malpractice. But I was getting hungry, so here I am. My studio's getting a bit cluttered, so I'm selling a bunch of paintings to make some room. Really? I'd love to see more of your work. Sure, I can show you something after we get to eat. Medical malpractice. I actually have a medical malpractice ASMR roleplay video. I lobotomize the listener. But cutely. But cutely, though. I cutely lobotomize the listener. Teehee. Actually, I happen to know where to get the best grilled salmon. How about I take you there? The best, you say? That's some high praise. That's the truth. Come on, I'll show you. Only if you want to, of course. I don't want to ruin your plans. I wasn't really planning on anything in particular, if I'm being honest. I don't see why not. Not to mention, this could be the perfect chance to get to know Felix better. Sure, lead the way. Great, follow me. Felix weaves through the crowd with a sense of familiarity. He moves around people with ease, while also occasionally glancing back at me to smile to make sure that I'm keeping up. It doesn't take long to reach Felix's destination. There, I see a werefox making some final adjustments to his stall. Didn't expect a 3-hour playthrough from that meme of a game. Oh my god. But you won though, right? You won? But you won. He looks up as we approach and smiles in recognition when he spots Felix. Well, if it isn't my favorite customer. The werefox moves out in front of the stall with his arms crossed, looking at Felix playfully. After a moment, his hands move to rest in his pockets and his eyes flick over to me. So that's the true ASMR RP. It's not cute sleep magician cleans your ears. It's sleep magician cutely gives you a lobotomy for funsies. Yeah. Yeah, that one ends with the player slowly fading out of existence. Straight up kill the listener. But like cutely. Teehee. Oh. Who's this? Oh, hey, who's this? Ayo? A werefox, huh? This is Astra. She's looking for a good place to eat, so... Wow, free advertising. Thanks, man. The werefox's attention then shifts fully over to me, and I get the feeling that I'm being scrutinized. Finally, they stick their right hand out towards me, initiating a handshake. Nice to meet you, Astra. I'm Velvet, or just Vel for short. Felix doesn't usually meet up with people when it's not work-related, so forgive me for being shocked. Whoa, hey, I hang out with people outside of work. Oh yeah? Who? And don't say me, I don't count. That's not fair. Point proven. Velvet takes his attention off Felix, shifting his focus back to me while pointing back at Felix with his thumb and rolling his eyes. Felix makes a wounded noise. So anyway, Astra, I assume you were promised some food? Yeah, Felix told me you make the best grilled salmon. I sure like to think so. Give me some time to get everything going and then you can see for yourself. Keep Felix company in the meantime, yeah? Velvet walks back towards the stall again, patting me on the shoulder as he walks away. They seem nice. A little overfamiliar maybe, but nice. Felix glances over at me, looking only mildly put out. I need you to know that I totally hang with other people. It's like, I have friends. You have to believe me. I have friends. Though, I suppose Vel's the only one I consider a real friend. Sure, I believe you. It's true. It's like, please, I have friends. You have to believe me. Yes, thank you. I will drink more of my coffee. My coffee's getting tepid. The both of us dissolve into laughter, the scene resembling something very similar that happened just the day before. It feels natural to be around Felix, like we've known each other for much longer than just a single day. Could I consider us friends after just a day? Yeah, why not? Friendship has no time limit. Well, you could add me to that list. Oh. Suddenly, the easy atmosphere that's been building up between us vanishes, and Felix's grin falters for a split second. Yeah, I guess I can. Though we technically agree, there's a look in Felix's eyes that gives him away. I don't have too much time to think about it as Velvet approaches, holding a bowl in each hand. He's the type who's friendly to everyone, but he doesn't actually consider anybody friends until he has, like, immense trust in them. I see. I came on too strong. Taking note. There you go. Freshly caught salmon grilled and served over rice. Be careful, though. It's still hot. How much is obvious? Steam curls off the bowl as Velvet hands it to me carefully, making sure I don't burn my fingers. It looks amazing. Thank you. No sweat. Enjoy. Inside, the salmon is artfully sliced and laid neatly over rice, covered in a thin glaze of something that smells faintly sweet. Oh my god, you're lucky I ate before stream. I had a delicious flatbread. It had like roasted tomatoes and zucchini and mushrooms on it. It was very tasty. And cheese. It had a lot of cheese on it too. Felix starts eating the moment the bowl is placed in his hands, but I take a moment to appreciate the freshly cooked meal and let it cool down. Once I deem it cool enough, I take my first bite. Despite its unassuming appearance, the flavors are beautifully balanced. The fish is tender and breaks apart easily. Pair that with the glaze and it practically melts in my mouth. Sounds like a teriyaki glazed salmon rice bowl. Sounds very good. It isn't too sweet either, as the rice absorbs any extra glaze, mellowing out the flavor. How comforting. I turn my head to Felix, but he's no longer sitting next to me. although I don't have to search very hard to find them. Standing next to Velvet, Felix's bright clothes are easy to spot. I can see them speaking, but I'm not quite close enough to hear exactly what they're talking about. Felix catches me looking over at them and then turns back to Velvet, saying something that I can't make out before he walks back towards me, plopping back down in his seat. Well, Felix, you are right. I think this is the best grilled salmon I've ever had. It's exactly what I needed. Felix smiles and leans closer to me, lowering his voice. Right? I may not look like it, but Vel is one of the most hardworking people I know. He spent a lot of time perfecting this recipe. He really wanted to make it feel like an authentic home-cooked meal from his hometown, so it took some time. From behind his stall, Velvet lifts his head up, ears swiveling in our direction. He makes a face and points towards the top of his head, clearly indicating that he can hear us. Seriously? They still heard that? Tell me about it. My roommate's a werefolk too, and nothing escapes their senses. How am I supposed to spill his secrets now? Velvet shakes their head in resignation before heading back to work. At this point, the smell of Velvet's cooking has already started attracting enough people to start forming a line. Now that they're fully set up, it's clear that Velvet's food is actually really quite popular. I finish up the rest of my meal with a satisfied exhale, and since Felix has already finished, it seems like we're about ready to leave. Felix stands up and looks down at me. Well, I should head back to my own stand. You coming? Yeah, of course. Just give me a moment to go pay Velvet first. Felix makes a face and sighs loudly. No need. They said it was their treat. I believe their exact words were, "Tell your new friend that our lunch is on the house. In exchange, let's hang out again." What? When did that happen? After I finished eating. Huh. Well, alright. You don't have to hang out with him, though, if you don't want to. It's not like he's gonna force you. I'm not against it. In fact, I'm a little curious, too. If you say so. Let's get going. As we turn to leave, I catch Velvet's eye as they're dealing with the customers, and I wave. His hands are busy, but he winks with a smile before getting right back to work. Damn, if only he was a romanceable character. Sheesh. Once we arrive, Felix immediately starts to pull out his his covered paintings, setting them out properly once more. Looking around, Felix's stall shows a wide range of paintings in various sizes and subjects, although most of these are of different flowers. Whenever I find my studio getting a little too cluttered, I come here and sell some of them off at a discount. I can't imagine what your studio looks like if this is just the clutter. You don't want to know. It's a madhouse in there. So, you, like flowers? Yeah, just a bit. For some reason, Felix's voice gets quieter, different from the louder, more excited way that he usually speaks. Right, just a little bit then. I find myself painting them more than anything else. He said he'd paint anything if asked, but there's a clear bias here. Each of the paintings are beautiful in their own right, and just like the ones I'd seen yesterday, they feel full of life. Felix, these are amazing. When I look at them, it almost feels like you've captured a moment in time. Thanks. I enjoy painting flowers the most when they're in full bloom, but it's difficult. I have to try and catch them at the right time. Felix looks sad when he says this, though when he catches me staring, he smiles. It'd be amazing if more people could see these. Have you thought about displaying these somewhere, like in a gallery or, let's say, a cafe? No, never really had the need if I'm being honest. I get enough commissions as it is, and the market fills in the gaps well enough. Truthfully, I was thinking that some of these would look beautiful on display in Cafe Bloom. Would you be open to it? Why? Got something in mind? Maybe. Alright, well, then maybe I'd be open to it. Fair enough. I should give this some more thought. I should start going back soon. I gotta start heading home, but thank you for letting me see your work. No problem. I'm always happy to show it off. If you need me for any projects in the future, well, you have my card. Right. If I ever need any paintings, then I'll reach out to you first. Felix grins at that, sounding genuinely interested in hearing from me. Bye, Astra. Get home safe, okay? I will. See you around. Yeah, see ya. The door to my apartment shuts quietly behind me. Though I wasn't out for the full day, I can still feel a satisfying exhaustion settling into my bones. I still have a handful of hours before I have to worry about dinner. Guess I could get some chores done. Might as well keep going while I have the motivation. Quinn and I tend to keep the apartment pretty neat. Whichever one of us has time, we try to do a little cleaning. It ends up working well, but if one of us ever does need the help, we would just ask. I spend the next couple of hours cleaning. It's soothing, and something I actually enjoy doing, even though it's a day off. It feels good to be doing something with my time instead of relaxing. What can I say? I like to be busy. The front door clicks open as I'm finishing up the last of the chores, and Quinn steps in the kitchen, exhaling loudly. Ah, home sweet home. Welcome back. Quinn sets their bags down and walks up to me. Need some help? I'm pretty much done. Thanks, though. How was your day? Busy? Just a bit, but it was a good kind of busy. You won't find me complaining about good business. Glad to hear it. Have you had dinner yet? I brought back some food if you're hungry. They reach down, and from the bags on the floor, Quinn brings out a container of food. My stomach growls loudly in response. I'd gotten so absorbed in cleaning that I didn't realize how late it had gotten. I'll take that as a no. Here, while it's still warm. Quinn places a portion of food in front of me. It looks like a creamy mushroom soup, which just so happens to be one of my favorites. Ooh, I do love a creamy mushroom soup. Are you psychic? Not psychic, you're just predictable. I don't think I'm that obvious. Thanks, though. You're welcome. I dig into the food that Quinn brought while the two of us alternate between eating and talking. So, what'd you do after you left the shop? Did you make it to lunch? I did. I actually ran into Felix and he took me to his friend who happens to be a chef. And saints, their food was delicious. Quinn raises an eyebrow in confusion. Felix? Who's that? Ah, right. Remember how I went to the market after work yesterday? Felix is that painter I ran into. Ah, yes, the handsome and mysterious painter. I don't think I said all that. I might be embellishing. Quinn puts a hand to their chins and smirks subtly. I don't like that look. What are you thinking? That's nothing, just deciding if I should tease you now or later. You're right, let's go with later. I need more information. Huh? So, you ran into him again today? How was that? Good, I think. He seems like a fun guy. I'm hoping we can hang out more. In fact, I think you'd like him a lot. I feel like you guys would get along. Well, they do say you can never have too many friends. Who's they? Me, obviously. Right. The rest of the night continues like this. We eat, talk, and laugh until eventually it's time for the both of us to turn in. Yeah, hi, Tremor. You want a sleep protection spell? I got you. The exhaustion from the day's events seeps into my bones. Let's see, where's my sleep protection spell at? Power bestowed upon me by the darkness of the realm. I enact my contract with you in exchange for your magic. Absorb the darkness of my target and leave no trace. Their dreams may be as gentle as the night stars. Nightmare Devourer. There you go. Hopefully that will keep the nightmares at bay and you will have sweet dreams. But if not, my policy, as you are no doubt well aware of, is no refunds or returns on spells. I cannot stress this enough. Alright? Regardless of the efficacy of the spell, it cannot be returned and refunded. So fingers crossed. I feel content and let that feeling deliver me swiftly into the land of dreams. Chapter 3, baby. The bell of the cafe rings, echoing in the silence of the early morning. Today is Saint's Day, the day that the water dragon, Kaelin, was born. A customer? So soon after opening? That's rare. Entering the cafe is a beautiful water nymph with long flowing hair and eyes clear as mountain spring. Good morning. She looks around, and between my surprised expression and the empty cafe, she appears to reconsider her entrance. Apologies, you are open, right? Yeah, We are. How can I help you? Oh, perfect. I was hoping you could help me with a special request. Depends on what it is. Sure. The woman smiles, a faint thing. Today is my friend's birthday. I want to bring them something special. They have a soft spot for anything warm. Oh? Being born on Saint's Day is a good omen. At least that's what they say. It certainly is an auspicious day. As she speaks, her smile warms. So, something off the menu? Precisely. I can do that. Any preferences? Sweet, nothing bitter, so no coffee. You came to a cafe and you don't want coffee? Okay, sure. Okay, no coffee at a coffee shop. That's what I'm saying, dude. Right, okay, sweet, no coffee. Anything else? That's all. I'll leave the rest to you. Free reign is both a blessing and a curse. What if I make something terrible? Only one way to find out. Alright, I'll get started right away then. Miss Nimue. Miss Nimue, please take a seat anywhere you like. I'll call you when it's ready. She nods, turning away with an elegant flourish. I guess I'll start with the milk face. I recall a memory back when I had just finished school before I met Quinn. It was the first time I had spent my birthday alone. I remember making myself a drink, something my mother used to make for me after a long day. What was in it again? My hands rummage through our seasonings and syrups. My hands gravitate towards the cinnamon, vanilla, and honey. I think this is it. The ingredients certainly sound nice, but I still feel like it's missing one last thing. Oh right, tea! Our signature black tea jumps out at me. Similar to a lush wind fog, but sweeter and with more milk. Oh, London fog. The process to put it together is nothing too different from anything I usually make, so it doesn't take me much time to put it together. Miss Nimue, I finished. I hope your friend likes it. It's been some time since I made this particular drink. I'm sure they will. Nimue takes in her surroundings with a small smile. This is a beautiful place. I'd like to bring them here myself, but I'm afraid my friend can be quite stubborn. Creature of habit? She nods. I can be the same way sometimes. Oh, and take this as well. I reach out towards the display cabinet, carefully placing a chocolate croissant in a brown bag. On the house. Are you sure? Positive. Enjoy the rest of your day, Miss Nimue, and tell your friend I say happy birthday. I think I just might. Thank you. Astra. Astra, then. I'll pass your message along. With all the grace of a flowing stream, she disappears through the door of the cafe. The lights in the cafe are dim as the sun begins to set. Albion works quietly beside me, diligently cleaning a coffee tamper. I sit at one of the tables, using my break to soak in the serene calm and eating a delicious scone that Albion had forcibly given me. I lift my head from where it rests on my arms. A cloaked figure steps into the cafe and steps directly up to Albion at the bar. Oh my god! Tremor, thank you so much for the gift sub! Thank you for the other gift sub as well. Thank you for the 2 gift subs, Tremor. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, congrats, Shorts and Roku. Oh my god, and 69 Cat as well. Yeah, arigato. Yeah. Thank you, Tremor. Welcome in. My apologies. I'm looking for someone. Someone who works here. Astra. Albion's eyes slide over to me in what I think is him asking permission to tell the stranger who I am. Yeah, tell him. Point me out. I'm here. Please. Despite our disagreement the other day, Albion's still looking out for me. He's giving me a choice. This goal for subs is 69. Yeah, it's always great when we do hit it. I don't stress about if we hit it or not, but it is always funny when we do. Do I want to talk to the stranger? Yes. I do want to talk to him. Curiosity wins. I nod once, giving him the okay. Albion's brows pinch together, but he points to where I sit by the window. She's right over there. The stranger follows the direction of Albion's finger. When our eyes meet, I see a split second of shock cross over the figure's face. Thank you. I can't think of anyone who'd be looking for me, which only makes me more curious. Hello. Her clothes are oddly ornate and formal, an outfit of gold chains, delicate details, and smooth lines. I wonder why they're so dressed up. You are Astra? The one and only. You're the only Astra in Feldoria? Oh, well, probably not. It's just a figure of speech. I see. So, how can I help you? How do you know my name? Yes, I suppose that would be jarring. One of my nymphs came here recently. Nimue. One of their nymphs? Oh, Nimue! Yes, the naiad! I remember now. She told me you were the one responsible for my offering. Your offering? A gift, she calls it, but an offering nonetheless. Suddenly it clicks. Oh, you must be the friend she told me about. Yes. If you're here, that must mean you liked it, right? The offering? At least I hope you liked it. I guess you came be here to tell me how terrible it was. It was delicious. The croissant as well. I came to thank you in person. Oh, that's nice of you. The flavors were like something I used to have many years ago. I did not think I would ever taste it again. For that, I thank you. I will remember your kindness, Astra. They came here just to thank me? Who is this person? Well, it's not on the menu, but if you come back, I'd be happy to make it for you anytime. Truly? Of course, everyone's welcome here. Even under the shadow of their hood, the smallest of smiles can be made out. Look at him, he's so fucking cute, dude. He's so precious. Oh, I love him. A kind offer. I will consider it. They say it with subtle reverence. Their features are soft and their eyes gleam. It's not the kind of gaze I'd normally expect from a stranger. I must go now. Thank you, again. And without lingering, the stranger turns away. As I leave, I catch a whiff of lavender. Alice really does attract people from all over the country, huh? My gaze flickers over to Albion, who looks away sharply. Not that he'd admit it, but he was probably watching me to make sure nothing happened. Break time's over. Get back over here. Coming! The next few days are uneventful. Work proceeds as smoothly as ever, though the question of what plan I should choose plagues nearly every waking moment. For the moment, I lay in the grass of Hallis's large park, staring at the sky. What should I do? Silver for your thoughts? Ah! A low voice chuckles behind me, startlingly familiar. Propping myself up on an elbow reveals a friendly face. Hey, Astra, right? Yeah, and you're Felix. Good memory. What are you doing here? He shifts, lifting up the small easel and canvas he carries with him. Painting. What are you doing here? I sigh, flopping back on the grass dramatically. Thinking. Felix hums quietly. Need someone to hear you out? Are you offering? I am, as long as you don't mind me multitasking. I can't see Felix the way I'm splayed out, but I can hear the rustling of bags, the clacking of wood as he's presumably setting himself up to paint. I don't mind. Great, then. I'm listening. Where to start? Well, I'm a barista at a place called Cafe Bloom. The owner wants to breathe some new life into the place. It's a high five. Welcome in. Coffee enthusiast? More than most. Thank you for the headpads. Interesting. All right, go on. She laid out 3 options, each with their own perks. The problem is she asked me to decide which of the 3 to go with. Sounds like she trusts you. Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself, but I have no clue how I'm supposed to choose. Any one of them would be good for business. They're all great. I wish I could choose them all. Bigger isn't always better. I learned that the hard way. Exactly. That's the other problem. I really want this to work. I always give 100%, you know? At least I try to. I want to do it all, but I don't want to crash and burn either. I fall silent, letting the words hang in the air. Have you tried making your own plan? My own plan? But Sylphia, the owner, only gave me 3 options. Yeah, but surely you could make your own plan. One that incorporates all 3 ideas without being unrealistic? Oh? Is it that simple? I turn the suggestion over in my mind. A plan that's the best of all 3 options. Would Sylphia really go for that? Only one way to find out. You might be onto something there. I suppose it's worth a shot. I stand up and dust off the grass off my clothes with determination. Thanks, Felix. I really needed that. Felix grins brightly. No worries. This new idea fills me with a fresh burst of energy. The possibilities flood my mind and my hand itches to grab a pen. Unfortunately, my notebook is at home. Sorry, Felix. I gotta go. Good luck with your painting. See you around, Astra. Careful on your way back. My hand raises in acknowledgement as I dash back to my apartment, unwilling to let my motivation escape before I can write down my rush of ideas. I practically tumble into the apartment, startling Quinn from their place at the kitchen island. Saints, are you okay, Ast? I'm fine. I just need my notebook. I have an epiphany. The smile that splits my face is so wide I know I must look half-crazed. Still, I can't help it. Already, Quinn is reaching for the leather-bound book which happened to be lying nearby. Here you go. Thanks. I slip into the seat next to hers. From there, no time is wasted in scribbling down pro-con lists and vague logistics. Whoa, you weren't kidding. Is this for Bloom? Yep, I was agonizing over which plan to make when I ran into someone who suggested I make my own plan. I want to combine all 3 of Sylphia's plans into one. What do you think? I pause my frantic writing to glance over at Quinn. It's very you. Is that a good thing? The best. I'm sure Sylphia will accept it. I hope so. Quinn leans over abruptly, pulling me into an embrace. She will. No one can resist you when you're this passionate. Oh my gosh. They pull back and gesture at themselves. Exhibit A. I'm just following my heart. That's a bigger strength than you realize, Ast. Not everyone can do that. My eyebrows furrow at Quinn's admission. Not because of what they said, but because of the look on their face when they did. I open my mouth to question them, just as they exclaim suddenly, Oh, I almost forgot. I heard some more rumors today. Heard or eavesdropped? Quinn waves their hand dismissively. I just happened to be nearby. Besides, it wasn't personal information. It was about our elusive saint. Seems they were spotted in the city again. People say that all the time, Quinn. There's a St. Kaylan sighting every few months or so, but never any proof. You're right, but the traveler in me can't help but hope. I have so many questions about dragon culture. Be more likely to catch a glimpse of the saints in Cholet or Valanche. Even so, I believe one day our saint will appear. Hopefully, in my lifetime. For your sake, I hope that's true. Albion works quietly next to me. The hiss of the machines and the idle chatter of customers floats through the air gently. It's peaceful. For now. Hey, Albion. About the plans for the cafe. This again, Astra, I really don't want to talk about it. Why? Because things are fine as it is. I don't understand why we need to expand. We're not necessarily expanding, just making a few adjustments. What happens when you make so many adjustments that the original is lost? There it is. I feel like I've scratched the surface of Albion's hesitation. I called this out. I called this out from the start. Roll the clips. Roll the tapes. The people are the ones who make this place what it is. All Sylphia and I want is to open these doors to a wider community. At least let me tell you my idea. Fine. The hissing of the machine in front of Albion stops and he moves to grab the waiting mug. He's listening. Sylphia proposed 3 options. She told me that much. Get to the point. Right, well, I want to take something from each of them. His movement pauses, then resume as if nothing is wrong. Great. It is great. At least I hope so. It's not some grand scheme like you think. And what is it? It's how we all win. The changes are small, concentrated in 3 key areas. You start marketing, have a mural painted, and tweak our menu. We're not uprooting anything. Albion puts the finishing touches on the cappuccino before serving it up. As soon as it hits the countertop, he turns to me with his arms crossed. Have you told Sylphia? Not yet. I want to gather some more opinions. He sighs heavily and his eyes shut. My stomach drops. You hate it. No, it's not terrible. Really? From Albion, not terrible actually meant good. It's the final vote of confidence that I needed. The timing is perfect, since tomorrow's the day I'm supposed to have an answer for Sylphia. Thank you! Yeah. Are you done now? We're still on the clock. Mr. Tsundere over here. I'll have to sleep now. Yeah, good night. Oyasumi. The next day, Sylphia pulls me aside to ask for updates about the development plan. Astra, do you have a moment? Sylphia sits at the bar facing me. The cafe is empty outside of Sylphia and myself, so her question isn't really necessary, but I appreciate it anyways. Of course. About what we discussed. It's time to make your choice. I want to hear what you think. My heart skips a beat. As it was before, the first option is to focus on our menu. Add seasonal treats, new items, new coffees, something to keep the customers excited every time they visit. Second option is to turn the cafe into more of a community space. We can host events, bring in local artists, create something alive and ever-changing. And finally, we can focus on marketing. Renovations, a stronger identity, and coming up with something that makes us stand out from every other cafe in the district. A bold step forward. My heart quickens. 3 choices, each carrying its own weight. I glance back at Sylphia, who watches me with quiet patience. So, Astra, which vision speaks to you? Oh, I can't present my idea. It's grayed out. Well then... I guess maybe because we didn't hit enough points with one of them. So that one's grayed out. So let's say, focus on adding new menu items and seasonal treats. Let's focus on the menu. New items, seasonal treats, the works. Very well. We'll make Bloom taste brand new. Let's go. We're on Albion's route, baby. The moment I bring up revitalizing the cafe, Albion's expression hardens like I've just insulted his ancestors. Cafe's already perfect. We don't need any gimmicks. I roll my eyes. Of course he would say that. Come on, Albion. I'm not saying we tear down the walls and rebuild a circus. Good, because the cafe isn't a stage. It doesn't need any tricks. Change too much and become something else. Regulars come here because they like it as it is. Don't play with fire. He folds his arms, gaze sharp and unyielding. If stubbornness were a weapon, he'd be untouchable. Alright, time to try another angle. Look, I'm not asking to change anything that already works. Your coffee's still the star, and the cafe keeps its soul. But if we add a few newer ideas, just add, not replace, we might attract people who wouldn't otherwise step inside. Of course, I don't necessarily plan on sticking to this. For a moment, silence. His jaw tightens, his brow furrows. Adding, not changing. Exactly! Think of it as polishing a gem that's already beautiful. We're not reshaping it, just letting more people see it shine. And remember, Sylphia is on board. His eyes narrow, but the steel in them softens by a fraction. I'm not a fan of this idea, but seeing as Sylphia is championing this, I'll listen. I grin, triumphant. Convincing Albion isn't easy. It's like trying to coax a cat into a bath, but when it works, oh, it feels good. Great, then we should do some proper brainstorming. Here? No, too many distractions. Let's start at my place. Saturday? You're really pushing your luck. That's not a no. I flash him a grin. He sighs, the sound of a man already regretting his life choices, but he doesn't back out. That's as close to a yes as I'm ever going to get. Perfect. It's a date. His glare could probably burn holes in stone, but I pretend not to notice. Albion shows up right on time. Of course he does. If he ever arrived late, I think the sun would stop rising and the world would end. I throw the door open with a grin, only to realize I forgot to, well, do my share of the cleaning around the house. Quinn is out on one of those excursions, and I was researching late into the night. There's a towel on the floor, books stacked like an unstable tower, and plates from the breakfast still sitting on the table. Albion steps inside, his eyes scanning the room. His gaze is scrutinizing, not unlike a judge. Oh, don't mind the mess. I wasn't expecting royalty. Couldn't we have done this at work? I gestured to the spread of sketch pads, papers, pens, and highlighters on the table. Here's a much better place to make a mess. Did Albion just flinch at that? He doesn't even answer me. He just picks the towel up off the floor, hangs it back on the rack, and heads to the sink to wash his hands. I can't help it. I laugh. The way he moves is so stiff, so deliberate, like he's performing a sacred ritual, and my house is the unholy temple. You really can't help yourself, can you? Come, sit down. Let's get started. He mutters something under his breath, but he comes over anyway. He clears away his space for himself at the table. So, about the cafe. I've been thinking. His shoulders tense instantly. I almost laugh. Again. I begin listing off my ideas. What if we give everyone free coffee for a week? People will come running. That's financial suicide. We could dress you up in a coffee bean costume and parade through the city markets. Adults drink coffee, not children. What about coffee fortune telling? You drink and I read your future in the mug stains. Albion doesn't even respond to that. It's like tea leaf reading. What if we use your magic to make the drink smoke when it's served? Something theatrical, like a magic trick. People would crowd around just to see. It's a waste of time. I'm going home. Albion stands up, reaching for his things. Wait, what if the cafe had a signature blend that no one else has? Something unique. For the first time, Albion's expression shifts. It's subtle, just a flicker in his eyes and a tightening at the corner of his mouth as if he's uncomfortable, enough to make me pause. The silence stretches on long enough that I start to fidget with the loose papers on the edge of the table. His face is unreadable, and for a second I wonder if I finally said something that actually upset him. Did I push too far? Then, at last, Albion exhales. His voice is quieter than I expected, almost thoughtful. That could work. I blink, caught off guard. Of all the things I throw at him, it's the one I didn't think he'd even consider. And saying that you don't have any experience with creating coffee blends, do you? Well, not really, but I could learn. No need. I can do it. What? Really? If I can replicate the blend my parents made by the end of the campaign, it'll work. Oh? Ask more about his parents' blend. What kind of blend is it? The notes are magical. The flavor blooms slowly. Gentle sweetness at first, followed by a soft, lingering bitterness, together creating a harmony so complete it feels alive. Oh my god, look at him blushing. He's so excited talking about the coffee. One taste and you'll spend the rest of your life chasing it. I chew on his words, trying to imagine a flavor like that. Something so vivid, so untouchable, the thought of it makes my fingers itch for a pen. Without thinking, I lean forward across the table, dragging a scrap of paper closer to scribble down ideas before they slip away. My hand brushes against his, just for a second, barely a touch, but enough to notice the warmth of his skin. Albion flinches, pulling back sharply, as if burned. Sorry. I glance up at him, but his face gives nothing away. Oh my god, he's a little blushy. He's so blushy. His gaze is averted, fixed on the far wall. I force myself to focus back on the page, scribbling down, create a signature blend, but the tension hangs in the air, sharp and quiet, like the echo of a string pulled too tight. He spends all day touching scalding hot steam wands without flinching. The moment I brush against him, he shuts down completely. I bite the inside of my cheek, considering the contradiction. He's complicated, difficult even. But maybe that's what makes him so hard to ignore. Albion, if you're creating the signature blend, what should I do? My parents always serve the signature blend with dessert. We could combine the signature blend with the perfect dessert. His voice trails off, but for once there's no cold dismissal in it. Just a trace of curiosity. I sit up straighter. A challenge, an opening. Something Albion is actually offering me instead of shutting me out. Perfect dessert, huh? That's something I can do. A smile creeps across my face before I can stop it. Albion notices, but doesn't comment. His unreadable mask is still there, yet behind it I catch the faintest spark of anticipation. For the first time since I met him, it feels like we're not just standing on opposite sides. Like maybe, just maybe, we're working towards the same thing. Watch me, Albion. I'm gonna come up with the dessert that makes your magical blend unforgettable. The thought excites me more than I expected, and for once he doesn't look like he minds having me around. Oh my god, I want tiramisu so bad. It'd be so yummy. I spend the weekend making new recipes. Oh my god, hi Set! How are you? Did your Discord account get hacked? I need to make sure. Yeah, I figured. They didn't pass my bot check. I figured that was the case. By Sunday night, the kitchen is a battlefield. Crumbs on the floor, butter smears on the cabinets, and me, slumped over the table, pen still in hand. But there's progress. 2, maybe 3 recipes that feel promising. Nothing's perfect yet, but enough to make me excited. I'll probably tear them apart with that unreadable stare of his, but if I can get even a nod of approval, I'll count it as a victory. I got 2 of my friends so far. Oh no! Okay, well, I'm gonna, since now I've confirmed that your account is compromised, I am gonna kick you out of the dairy server, just so, you know, the hackers can't do anything. But once you recover your account again, you're more than welcome to join back in the server, you know? Let me do that right now before I forget. Yeah, I wanted to make sure because they didn't respond. I had my verification questions, you know? Let's see. Okay. There we go. Alrighty, all done. I closed the notebook with a sigh, staring at the scattered plates of half-finished desserts. God, I still want tiramisu, dude. They tried to get Oka, but they called her lady, and she was like, oh, that's not you. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, say something that only Set would say. And they were like, I like manga and anime. I'm like, that's not good enough. What the heck? Anybody can fucking say that, dude. And I was like, say what I'm allergic to right now or I'm pulling the trigger. And then they didn't respond. I closed the notebook with a sigh, staring at the scattered plates of half-finished desserts. My stomach churns at the thought of eating another bite, but my heart feels strangely light. That's when the door creaks open. Whoa, did a flower elemental explode in here? I look to see Quinn in the doorway, eyebrows raised. You're allergic to not making Benny feel like a side character? No, Benny's not a side character. But now I know that your Twitch account's safe, at the very least. Quinn's gaze sweeps over the counters, the stacks of bowls, and the flour covering my clothes before finally settling on me, looking every bit as messy as the kitchen. Very funny. It's called recipe development. Recipe development. Right. You sure you just didn't attempt to summon a demon? I grab one of the less disastrous attempts, a cupcake, golden and still warm, and shove it towards Quinn. Here, eat. Then you can insult me properly. Quinn eyes the cupcake suspiciously, then flicks their eyes back at me. Questionable presentation, but I'll bite. If I die, I'm haunting you. Still, Quinn takes a bite. Their eyebrows shoot up and they chew in silence for a moment longer than expected. Okay, wait. That's really good. Relief rushes through me so quickly I almost laugh. You better not just be saying that because I made it. I'd never do that to you. I knew it. I'm a genius. Yeah, flour-covered, sleep-deprived genius. Licking a stray crumb off their thumb, Quinn smirks. Guess I'll cancel my plans to kick you out and open a bakery myself. You're planning on kicking me out? Not anymore. You've proven your worth. Barely. Meaning you have feedback. It's not very sweet. It's supposed to be paired with coffee, right? Then it needs to be much, much sweeter. You might be right. I glance at the empty tub of sugar on the kitchen counter. I need to do some more shopping. Wow, you actually ran out of sugar? That's impressive, in a terrifying kind of way. I thought I was the sugar fiend. I've been testing a lot of recipes. Clearly, I think half the city's supply is in your bloodstream now. Quinn chews slowly, thoughtful for a moment. You know, maybe it doesn't need just more sugar. Try honey, maybe, or fruit. Something that adds sweetness without turning it into a brick of sugar. I blink, caught off guard by the practicality hidden underneath the teasing tone. Not bad, Quinn. Not bad at all. That might work. Of course it will. I'm a genius. And you get the fun job of cleaning up all of this, so really, you're the one pulling all the weight here. I laugh, but the thought sticks with me. Honey, fruit, balance. Maybe there's still something there. The market's already bustling by the time I arrive. Stalls line the street, each one bursting with color and noise. Fresh produce piled high, vendors call out their deals, and the smell of roasted nuts drift through the air. I wander between the stalls, basket in hand, my eyes scanning rows of fruit. Apples that are polished to a shine, peaches soft as velvet, and citrus bright enough to hurt my eyes. My fingers trail over a stack of pears, cool and smooth beneath the market's awning. Sweet, subtle, dependable, but is dependable enough? I move on to berries. Strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, tart, bright, and bursting with flavor, easy to love, but not for everyone. It's gonna be hard, isn't it? Cafe Bloom isn't just one kind of place. Every day I see different people walking through those doors. Workers, travelers, dwarves, werefolk, nymphs. Everyone with their own taste, their own favorites. How do you make one dessert that speaks to them all? I pause at a display of figs. Their dark skins split just enough to reveal the jeweled red inside. Unexpected. A little mysterious. The kind of fruit that surprises you if you give it a chance. Ooh, I do like figs. Should I go for something safe or something bold? What if I choose wrong? I take a deep breath, then comb through my basket. Berries for brightness, figs for death, citrus for a spark of energy. No idea what they'll become, but I know this much. The answer won't come easy. Not if I want to keep up with Albion. A sharp voice cuts through my thoughts. Hey, you gotta pay for that. Huh? I already paid. The vendor steps out from behind the stall, eyes narrowed. Don't play dumb with me, missy. Think you can just walk off with my fruit? My heart skips. Heads turn. A few people stop to watch, and within moments a small crowd begins to gather. Oh great, just what I needed. Another public trial over figs. I clutch the basket to my chest, heat creeping up my neck. I did pay! Check our coins! The vendor folds their arms, unconvinced. The murmurs of the crowd swell, some curious, some accusatory. Then, a voice cuts through the noise. She paid. I saw her. The crowd parts slightly, and there he is. Albion, standing tall, his gaze level and unwavering. I was at the stall beside her. She put the coins on your counter. The vendor falters, eyes flickering towards his counter. They glance between Albion's sharp expression and my own flustered face. The tension drains a little, though their frown remains. Maybe I missed it. Fine. The crowd disperses with disappointed grumbles, robbed of their drama. My heartbeat slows, though, my cheeks still burn. Seriously? He shows up now of all times? Albion steps closer, his expression as unreadable as ever. You should be more careful. His tone is flat, but the way the crowd instantly quieted at his words, it's not hard to feel like he just pulled me out of the fire. Thanks for stepping in. The thing with tsunderes is that they don't like to express their emotions openly, but they like when you express your emotions openly. Right? You gotta be genuine. That's the only way to really break down a tsundere's walls. His expression doesn't change, but I think, just for a second, that there's the faintest flicker of acknowledgement in his eyes. The moment passes and Albion shifts the basket in his hand, looking as composed as ever. If you're finished causing a scene, you should leave before the vendor changes their mind. I bristle, but fall into step behind him anyway. My pulse is still racing, though I'm not sure if it's from the argument with the vendor or from him. We walk side by side, the sound of the market pressing in around us. The crowd is loud enough to fill the silence, but it still feels heavy between us. So, how was your weekend? Albion doesn't glance at me. Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy? Yes? I wait for him to add something, anything, but he doesn't. His attention is fixed on the path ahead as if the cobblestones are infinitely more interesting than conversation. Did you do anything special? No. I bite the inside of my cheek. Trying to get him to open up is needlessly difficult. What about the blend? Have you worked on it at all? It's been 2 days. I raise a brow, not sure if he's scolding me for being impatient or just stating a fact. A brief silence follows, the kind that makes every step feel louder than it should. Yes. The word hangs in the air, sharper than the rest, and I'm about to ask more when I hear him murmur something low, almost swallowed by the noise of the market. I have to get it right. I blink, not quite catching that, but Albion immediately straightens and glances at the basket in my arms, his expression unreadable again. Seeing as your basket's full of dessert ingredients, you started too. What, are you spying on my shopping now? If it wasn't, you would be getting charged with shoplifting right about now. He's not denying that he was spying, whatever that means. Well, if you must know, yes, I've started experimenting. Somebody has to make sure your blend doesn't completely outshine everything else on the menu. There's the faint twitch at the corner of his mouth. Not quite a smile, but not quite nothing. So hi, Egg, welcome in. And we'll see whose work holds up. He calls it work, but it sounds an awful lot like a challenge. We fall into silence again, though this one feels different. Less heavy, less awkward. The market noise fills the space between us, and for once it feels almost comfortable. I shift the basket in my arms, glancing sideways at him. He doesn't notice, or maybe he does and just doesn't let on. Either way, I catch myself smiling before I can stop it. We keep walking, and the crowd thinning as the market roads stretch on ahead. By the time I arrive at Cafe Bloom the next day, Albion's already there. As expected, the shop isn't even open yet, but he's behind the counter, sleeves rolled up, brewing like the world depends on it. The hiss of the steam wand fills the air, and the scent of roasted beans clings to everything. Towards the back of the shop, I hear Sylphia start a conversation with Albion. I can't help but listen in. Albion? She speaks gently, but it still makes him pause. Sylphia leans on the counter, arms folded, her eyes soft but sharp in a way that only she can manage. You'll wear yourself down if you keep up this pace. I'm fine. You always say that. For a moment, something flickers in her expression. I know where that drive comes from. Always trying to prove yourself, always afraid of being seen as less, but Albion, this is your home. You don't have to exhaust yourself to belong here. He doesn't respond, only lowering his gaze back to the task at hand. Sylphia lets it drop, but not without a quiet sigh. I step in then, making my presence known, balancing a tray covered with plates. Special delivery! Albion glances up, brows raised slightly. I uncover the desserts one by one. Tarts, cakes, and a bunch of cupcakes I stayed up way too late perfecting. I need you to try one? His expression doesn't change, but he obliges, taking a small forkful of a cupcake. He chews it, slowly, considering. I find myself holding my breath. Not bad. That's it. 2 words. But for him, it might as well be a sonnet. Wait, did he just praise me? I feel the heat rising in my cheeks and quickly look away, pretending to straighten the tray. Why is my heart beating so fast? It's just Albion. I risk a glance at him from the corner of my eye. He's already back to work, as if my dessert and his faint praise were nothing more than a momentary detour in his routine. Just Albion, who barely talks, barely looks at me, and yet somehow makes my chest feel like it's about to burst. I shake my head, trying to refocus. The last thing I need is Sylvia catching on, but when I glance her way, she's watching with a knowing smile tugging at the corner of her lips. You two work well together. Albion doesn't respond, just hums quietly, focused on tamping down the grounds in front of him. I force a laugh, too quick, too light. Yeah, something like that. Sylvia's smile deepens, but she says nothing more, leaving me with the pounding of my heart and the stubborn warmth in my face. Chapter 2, baby. Hey, Albion, try this. Alright, sure. Albion, I made these cookies last night. Oh, thanks. These macarons didn't turn out very good, but the flavor is there, I promise. Albion grabs one offhandedly, putting it in his mouth to eat and quickly running his hands under the water to wash off any residue. Not bad. Like, we're warming him up to us with a bunch of treats like a dog, dude. We're feeding him sweets to lower his guard. Every bite he takes increases his affection level with us. Here, Albion, cheesecake bites. Don't ask how many failed before these worked. Here, take a fork. Brownies, fruit tarts, muffins. Oh, don't eat that one. That one's burnt. Day after day, the pattern repeats. I bake, I bring, I insist. He resists, or tries to, but every time, he takes a bite. And every time, I watch him for the smallest flicker of approval. Hey, Albion. Astra, how's it going with the menu upgrades? Oh, it's going fine. I've been trying a lot of different recipes, and Albion's trying to make a signature blend. Perfect. That'll be the highlight for our launch event. Your desserts paired with his coffee. We'll make it a celebration, something people will remember. A launch event? That sounds big. It should be. Cafe Bloom deserves it. So does Albion, though I doubt he'd ever admit it. Also, thank you for the hydrate. Yes, I will drink more of my coffee. Oh my gosh, hi, Vivi. Pollo. By the way, before I forget, here. She pulls a small shopping bag from behind the counter and sets it down in front of me. The handles crinkle softly. Thought these might be useful. Did we get new stock? It's a bit early in the week. I peek inside the bag and my eyes widen. Inside are neat bundles and jars, carefully packed. Soft white flour tied with string, sugar glinting faintly through a paper bag, plump berries still cool from storage, even fresh lemons and a small jar of honey tucked in at the bottom. There's so much here. Flour, sugar, fruit, even the good vanilla. I was almost half out of all of these. Nestled between the ingredients is a folded piece of paper. I fish it out carefully. It's not like I got them for you or anything. They were on sale. Oh my god. Oh, he's such a classic tsundere. I love it. Well, that's not Sylvia's handwriting. Oh my god, he really said it's not like I went shopping for you or anything, Baka. I'll take it. Albion's version of you're doing great. I tucked the note back in the bag, my heart feeling just a little bit lighter than before. Speaking of Albion, where is he? I've given him the rest of the day off. He seemed a bit overworked. It's a bad habit of his. What do you mean? Sylvia's gaze drifts to the counter where Albion was working earlier, her voice softening. Albion pushes himself harder than most. He always has. It's as if he's carrying a weight no one else can see. If he isn't careful, he'll work himself to death before he ever admits he needs help. I don't think he even realizes when he's gone too far. He grew up in a place where he felt like he had to prove himself constantly. Old habits like that don't disappear overnight. She offers me a small smile, but there's a hint of sadness in it. All I can do is remind him that this cafe is different. Here, he doesn't need to prove anything. He doesn't talk about any of that with me, but hearing it from her makes me want to know more. Sylvia's eyes flick to the tray of my latest desserts, still sitting on the counter, and her expression softens. These look wonderful, even if they're not quite the same every time. That's part of the charm. She picks up a cookie, turning it over in her hand. People remember the ones that feel genuine. She takes a small bite, smiling faintly. Keep at it. I think you're closer than you realize. Closer, even though I don't know what perfect is supposed to look like yet. I feel restless. I frown as I pick up a gingerbread man cookie that I'd baked and decorated. I stare at it distastefully while its little white smile taunts me. I hope Albion's okay. I think your desserts are really good. You're definitely improving at a scary rate. I shake my head. That's not it. Albion was sent home early because he's overworking himself, so I haven't had the chance to make him try this batch. Could you get Sylvia to do it? Though if my experience is anything to go by, she probably had more sugar this week than the rest of her life combined. My desserts need to pair with Albion's blend, so he has to be the one to taste it. I think I'm gonna go to his house. Huh? Are you sure that's a good idea? He should probably be left alone to recover. All the more reason to check on him. I'll cook him something to make him feel better and then give him these cookies for dessert. Besides, I just want to see him. For a second, Quinn's smile falters. Their hands tighten slightly on the mug they're holding, bracing for words they want to say, but can't. But a heartbeat later, the easy grin is back, polished smooth as though nothing had cracked through it at all. Their voice is nonchalant, but softer than before. Okay. Take care out there. It looks quite windy. Got it! I'll see you tonight. I hurry off, my mind already spinning with recipes and plans. Behind me, I think I hear Quinn exhale, but when I glance back, they're smiling as usual. Albion, open up. It's the third time I've rung the doorbell. The lights are on inside. I know Albion is in there. Is he really just gonna leave me out here? The first raindrop falls on me, then the second. Within moments, the drizzle turns into a pour. My cookies are getting wet. Albion. I think about what Albion had said to me not too long ago. Words that didn't mean much back then, but suddenly prickle now. You always stick your nose in where it doesn't belong. Maybe I should go home. The rain has already soaked through the cloth I laid over the cookies, turning it dark and heavy. The cheerful gingerbread faces inside blur and smear under the drops. I turn to leave, the weight of the ruined basket pulling my arm. Then, the door creaks open. Albion! Her signature scowl is framed by the dim light of his entryway, but it's not quite as sharp as usual. Come on in. Oh my god. Albion POV. We're gonna get inside his head. Albion wants to say, no, scream, why are you here? She should have warned him. He didn't have enough time to clean his apartment before she arrived. He did the best he could, of course, as fast as he could. By the time the doorbell rang for the third time, he knew he had left her out there for too long. Not that his apartment isn't already clean, everything in its place, every surface wiped, but it's Astra. Meddling, insufferable Astra, who somehow deserves to see his apartment in the best condition possible. She steps inside, her wet hair clinging to her cheeks, clothes damp from the rain. The basket in her arms looks pitiful now, the cloth sagging with water. She moves straight to the kitchen counter and sets it down, as if she owns the space already. Wow! Her voice is soft, surprised. She wanders slowly, fingertips brushing along the shelves, the table, the edges of the counter, as though she's in a museum. It's so neat. I didn't know you lived like this, though I guess I should have known. Albion stiffens, heat rising at the back of his neck. It's not praise. It shouldn't feel like praise, but the way she says it makes something twist in his chest. Of course it's neat. It has to be. But watching her look around, wide-eyed and impressed, makes him realize something he hadn't considered. To her, the space might look like more than just neat. It might look like a piece of him he never intended to show. He clenches his fist, swallowing the words still threatening to spill out. Why are you here? Instead, he stays silent, watching her move through the apartment with that same careless energy that always manages to unbalance him. I couldn't catch you at work, and Sylvia said you left early, so I thought I'd check on you. She takes a deep breath. Her eyes sweep over the countertops. I was worried about you, I guess. Albion's chest tightens. For a moment, the world feels unnervingly still, then warm. An almost unfamiliar warmth spreading through him. How long had it been since anyone had said those words to him? Since someone had worried about him? He's just about to form the words to express how much they mean to him when her eyes snag on something glinting nearby. Whoa, what's this? It's beautiful. Her hand reaches towards a stopwatch resting on the shelf. Don't touch that! Oh shit. Now we're back in our normal POV. I don't know what happened. One moment I was telling Albion I was worried for him. I struggled to find the words, tripped over them even, but I was about to say more. Something that conveyed your opinion matters to me more than it should, and I don't know why. Something that made me so nervous that I had to do something with my hands. Something that made Albion snatch the stopwatch I was reaching for, his glare a dagger to my throat. Don't touch it. I'm sorry, I was just... We're just what, Astra? Showing up to my house uninvited, tracking in rainwater, messing with my things, just to fish for compliments for your desserts? Didn't I tell you to stop sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong? How am I supposed to answer that? I wasn't fishing for compliments, Albion. I just wanted to see if you were okay. That's all. My voice is quiet, much steadier than I expected. For a moment, the anger in his face falters, replaced by something unreadable. He looks away, jaw tight, but he doesn't say anything more. I should go. The air in the apartment is stifling now, almost suffocating. I force myself to turn towards the door, both my heartbeat and steps echoing in my brain far louder than they should. Just before I cross the threshold, I risk one last glance over my shoulder. He hasn't followed me. He hasn't even looked up. If I stay another second, I'll break. So I leave, pulling the door shut behind me before I fall apart. Ooh. Oh no! The blend and the dessert clash. They're both strong in different ways, but together, they cancel each other out. The words sting, though I can't tell if it's because she's criticizing my dessert or because Albion's work is being dismissed right alongside mine. Either way, neither of us look at the other. The silence between us is thick. Seeing this, Sylvia's expression softens. Don't worry, this is what testing is for. You'll find the right balance. I force a laugh that sounds far too brittle. My hands twist in my lap beneath the table, sticky with sugar from the last failed batch. Of course it doesn't work. Why would it? We can't even look at each other anymore, let alone create something that belongs together. At the corner of my eye, I see Albion's jaw tighten, his knuckles pale around his cup. Still, he says nothing. Astra, maybe you can try a lighter dessert next time? Albion, perhaps consider rounding out the edges of the bitterness. It is a partnership, after all. Her smile lingers on us for a moment, gentle but firm, before she rises from her seat. I'll leave you two to think about it. And just like that, she's gone. The bell above the cafe door jingles faintly as she steps out, leaving only the low hum of silence behind. I keep my eyes on the crumbs scattered across my plate. The weight of the air between us is unbearable, pressing down heavier than Sylvia's critique ever could. Albion stands slowly, collecting his cup with a deliberate calm that feels more like armor than a habit. Without a word, he turns back towards the counter, slipping behind it as though the distance could shield him from me. I stay where I am, fingers curling tightly in my lap. What am I supposed to say? Sorry I almost touched something precious? Sorry I came to your house? Sorry I made things worse? My throat aches with words I can't shape. He doesn't look at me, and I don't dare to look at him. The silence stretches. Should I say something? or just leave it alone. I feel like we do have to apologize, and I think if we apologize, it'll help him apologize too. We both gotta apologize. So, what Sylvia said about balancing flavors, do you think she's right? The words come out lighter than I expected, almost casual. My heart thumps anyway, waiting for a response. Albion doesn't turn, but his movement slows. He sets the tamper down with more care than usual, his voice low. Maybe. She notices things others don't. It's not much, but it's more than silence. Albion said what? It was my fault. Like you said, I shouldn't have gone to his house. I don't care. I'm going to kill him. Quinn slams their mug down a little too hard on the table, liquid sloshing over the rim. Her eyes flash with the fire I've rarely seemed aimed at anyone but me. I don't understand what made him break down like that. Especially when he's usually so Albion. The words feel clumsy on my tongue, but it's the only way to describe him. Cold, precise, untouchable, until suddenly he wasn't. And Sylvia, she trusted me with this task. I don't think she's happy with our progress so far. I can't let her down. Quinn's expression softens, but the tension doesn't quite leave their shoulders. They lean forward, grasping my hand in theirs. Astra, don't carry all of this by yourself. You're not the only one Sylvia's relying on. And Albion, if he's too stubborn to admit it, that's on him, not you. My best friend's words settle over me like a blanket. I want to believe them, but the image of Albion's glare, the sharpness of his voice still lingers in my chest. Even so, I can't stop thinking about it. About him. But why it felt like I'd touched something more fragile than glass. Just promise me one thing, okay? Tell me if he hurts you again. I mean it. Their eyes lock with mine, fierce and unwavering. My heart skips, but I laugh it off quickly, deliberately reaching for the nearest cookie to give me an excuse to stop talking. You'll eat me out of house and home before that happens. Quinn snorts, the edge of their anger softening into something gentler. But even as they reach for their own cookie, their gaze doesn't stray far from me. What's up with Quinn? For a second, it felt like they were about to say something they'd regret. But no, Quinn wouldn't hide things from me. Would they? I shake it off. Still, even as I turn back to my recipe notes, the look in their eyes lingers in the back of my mind. A market run? Together? There's no way this isn't intentional. Yes, together. I glance at Albion. He doesn't even look up from the grinder, but I catch the faint shift of his shoulders, like he's holding back a sigh. Wouldn't it be faster if we split the list? This isn't about speed. If you can't manage a simple trip to the market together, how are you going to host a launch event side by side? Her smile is gentle, but her tone leaves no room for argument. I feel a flutter in my chest, part nerves, part something I don't want to name. Albion finally sets the tamper down and glances at her. That's what you want. No protest, no complaint, but no warmth either. Just that unreadable calmness. Good. The market opens soon. Take this list and don't come back till you've gotten everything. She presses the parchment into my hands, as if sealing the deal. I tuck it close, trying to ignore the heat in my face. Shopping together. This is gonna be awkward. We walk side by side, though. Side by side feels generous. Albion's gaze remains on the road ahead. The tension between us stretches like a rope pulled too tight. Okay. Someone has to say something. Alright, so we need pears, figs, and a few creative berries, plus citrus. That's everything on the list, right? I know. I've read the list. His tone is calm and flat. It leaves nowhere for the conversation to go. The silence falls again, thicker than before. We pass a stall. That stall. My stomach knots. This is where it happened, where I was accused of stealing. My hand tightens on the basket handles, the memory flashes back, voices rising, the crowd pressing in, and then Albion's voice cutting through, steady and certain. He saved me. I almost wish he hadn't, because that's what kickstarted all this funny heart business. I shake the thought off quickly and step towards the fruit stall. Albion follows without a word, scanning the produce with his usual calm precision. These figs look good. Too ripe. They'll spoil before the week is out. I pout, but put them back. We move down the line, picking over berries and pears, a clumsy rhythm forming. Me reaching, him correcting, me sighing. That's not exactly teamwork, but it's something. By the time we reach the citrus stall, the list is nearly complete. The vendor sets down a particularly large crate, oranges stacked high. $1, as ordered. I bend down to lift it, hooking my hands under the edges. It doesn't budge. It's too heavy. Albion watches for a beat before stepping beside me. On 3. His hand grips the other side of the box. We lift together, my arms strained, the weight biting into my palms, and his fingertips brush against mine. Oh my god. Again and again. Each time we adjust our grip, his fingers graze mine like sparks that I can't shake off. Why does this feel more impossible than the box itself? Oh my god, we're almost holding hands. Almost. We heave the crate onto the cart, both of us just a little out of breath. Albion steps back, adjusting his gloves like nothing happened. But my fingertips are still tingling. Careful. You almost dropped it. The words are so simple, yet something in the way he says them softens the edges. Not a rebuke or a dismissal, but concern. His little blushy face, too. Don't be nice to me, it's making this harder. I look down quickly, pretending to fuss with the cart's handles so he won't see the heat rising in my cheeks. Well, we didn't drop it, so victory, I guess. The words tumble out, awkward and thin. Too light, too fast, like I'm trying to laugh away the weight in my chest. Albion doesn't answer. He just grips the cart handle and starts pushing, his pace even, eyes forward. I fall into step beside him, clutching the list tighter than I need to. The echoing sounds of wheels on cobblestone make my chest ache. Curse you, Sylphia. By the time we haul the last crate through the cafe doors, my arms are sore and my cheeks are still warm. Albion helps slide the cart into place without a word, then straightens his gloves with his usual composure. Well, look at that. You two made it back in one piece. Her eyes sparkle with something between satisfaction and mischief. I narrow mine at her, but she just smiles innocently, as though she hadn't sent us out like that on purpose. And the list? We got everything. I hand her the parchment, a little crumpled now from how tightly I've been holding it. Sylphia nods, clearly pleased. Good. Then this partnership might not be so hopeless after all. I can't tell if she's teasing, testing, or both. Besides, Albion's still silent, but I catch the faintest twitch of his brow. Sylphia leans back against the counter, watching us with a small, knowing smile. She's definitely amused. Great. Just what I needed, an audience for my misery. I reach for the broom, about to use the usual round of sweeping I always do in the afternoon. Just then, a bell above the cafe door jingles. A tall elf in a sharp waistcoat strides in, briefcase clutched tightly in one hand. His gaze sweeps the counter, then lands on me. Also, good night, Jacob. Sweet dreams. And good night shorts, too. Getting snuggly. Good morning. I'm here for my business's catering order. Catering? My heart jumps in my throat. Catering? I don't think... I glance at Sylphia, who simply shrugs and points her head at the counter before making herself scarce. Then I spot it. A slip of paper half crumpled on the floor by the register. I snatch it up, and my stomach twists at the bold letters at the top. Catering order. The broom in my hand clatters to the floor. Oh no. Yes, right, we have your order. Just give us a few minutes to prepare it. Albion looks at me sharply, but I'm already moving. Coffee. I'll handle it. His voice is brisk, businesslike. Food and packaging on me. And we're off. Albion stations himself at the espresso machine, the hiss and sputter of the steam already filling the air. I duck into the kitchen, pulling trays of pastries, slicing sandwiches with hurried precision, sliding them into boxes. How many cups? 20. 10 black, 5 macchiatos, 5 cappuccinos. Got it. He moves like clockwork, every motion sharp and sure. The dark liquid streams into cups, completely controlled. I'll need those milk ones first. The sandwiches are nearly done, and they'll go on the top layer. Coming. He passes 2 steaming cups across the counter. I slide them into the carrier without missing a beat, balancing a tray of sandwiches with my other hand. Watch your left, I'm coming through. Our shoulders brush as I cross past him. He doesn't flinch, doesn't falter, just keeps working, steady as stone. I load the pastries into a box, then reach for the next stack of tarts. Then my grip slips, the box wobbles dangerously. Ah! Before I can panic, a hand steadies it from below. Albion's. Focus. His eyes flick up to mine for the briefest second before he withdraws and turns back to the machine. Right, focus. No mistakes. Cappuccinos are done. Long blacks are next. Good. Pastry sealed, passing them over. I slide the finished boxes towards him. He checks the slip, marking them off with quick precision. We're missing 2 fruit trays. I'm on it. Berries, pears, figs. Just keep the coffees coming. I dart back in the kitchen, assembling the trays with trembling fingers, and set them down just as Albion finishes the last pour. All 20, lined up. Food's ready too. Start packing. I fall into rhythm again, lifting, stacking, securing boxes. He ties knots in the twine while I slide parchment between the layers. When one carrier wobbles, he braces it without needing me to ask. When my hands are full, he wordlessly passes tape across the counter. No wasted motions, no hesitation. For now, it's like the fight never happened. Just 2 people working in sync. The last box clicks shut. The final cup slides into place. Together we step back, breathless, facing the completed order stacked neatly by the counter. The cafe is quiet again, save for the faint hiss of the cooling machine. We did it! Of course we did. No warmth in his tone, but no sharpness either. Just facts. My heart skips anyway. The bell above the cafe door jingles again. The business elf returns with 2 coworkers in tow, their hands already outstretched to take the boxes and carriers. Excellent. Thank you very much. They divide the order quickly, murmuring their gratitude as they load everything into their arms. Then they leave, doors swinging shut behind them, and the sound of their voices fade out to the street. The cafe is quiet again. That was intense. Albion... I turn towards him, but he's no longer at the counter. A faint creak from the back tells me that the break room door is already shut. Am I really just gonna let him shut me out again? For the first time since our fight, it isn't sadness that grips me. It's something hotter, sharper. A spark that feels like adrenaline, like anger. Before I can second guess myself, I tear off my damp gloves and march towards the break room after Albion. Hey, motherfucker, speak to me in English if you have a problem with me. I fling open the door, and Albion sits slumped in a chair in the corner, one elbow propped on the armrest, his posture heavy. Albion! He looks up slowly. His eyes are tired and shadowed. Astra, I'm on my break. You should be up front. What do you want me to say to you? I know I showed up at your house uninvited. I touched something that was important to you. For that, I'm sorry. But I'm tired of you being so cold to me. Was what I did that so bad that you can't even look me in the eye? Albion's quiet for a beat. Then he pushes his head into his palms. That's not it. His voice falters, barely audible. It's not you. I push forward. Then what is it, Albion? Whatever it is, But just before I reach him, I'm hit with a burst of wind. What is this? The air howls, fierce and unrelenting, like I've stepped into a wind tunnel. My hair lashes across my face, my clothes tug and snap in the current. Is this Albion's magic? Astra, please leave. Albion doesn't move from his chair. The air coils around him, bending and twisting like it belongs to him, an invisible wall of storm pushing me back. He's serious this time. My hand drops to my side, but I meet his gaze all the same, hair whipping around my face. If that's what you want. The words are bitter. I turn, step to the calmer air by the door, and leave the storm behind me. Quinn isn't back yet. I stand alone in the kitchen, my nightly baking session ended. My notebook lies open on the counter, pages crowded with sketches, scribbles, and half-erased notes. Bowls, measuring spoons, and bags of flour clutter the space like the aftermath of a battle. I stare at the sugar spilled across the counter, the cracked egg I never cleaned up, the unfinished tart that's been sitting there for hours. How many times have I tried now? 10? 20? And still, nothing feels right. I flip through my notebook, my previously neat recipe titles turned messy with revisions. Berry compote tart, citrus shortcake, honeyed pear galette. Every one of them crossed out, every one a failed attempt to match his blend. Match the blend, that's all it was supposed to be. Simple. I drag my fingers down the page until they stop on the blank line at the bottom. The silence of the kitchen presses in thick, almost heavy. Maybe I should just pick a dessert. Any dessert. Even if it doesn't go with Albion's stupid blend, it'll have to do. I laugh under my breath, but it comes out shaky. The sound just hangs there, hollow and small. Hi, Vortexiality. Welcome in. Here's the signature blend, and here's the dessert. I push the plate, berry compote tart, across the table towards Sylphia. Albion does the same with his latte, the signature blend. I can't help but glance at Albion from the corner of my eye. He truly looks like death. Nearly worked himself to it, as Sylvia predicted. All day he has been using his wind magic constantly, cooling down drinks faster than they could steam, all to speed up the process of replicating his parents' signature blend. Based on his expression, the mug he set in front of his Sylphia isn't even close. Sylphia simply stares at the table, not making a move to pick up either. Eventually she sighs. Maybe this will have to do. The launch party's only a few days away. We need to finalize the menu soon so they can be printed on time. Any blooms yet? We haven't fully bloomed in our love yet. We're still at the growing phase, you know? We've planted the seeds, but it hasn't fully bloomed yet. We're still trying to crack through his tsundere exterior, you know? A customer walks in and Albion leaves to serve him. I'm left sitting alone with Sylphia. She rises from her seat, smoothing out her apron. As she turns, her gaze catches on a basket resting on the far table. The basket from that rainy day with my gingerbread cookies still in it, untouched, which Albion had brought to return to me. She lifts the cloth. Astra, did you make these? They look adorable. Yes, don't touch them. They're almost a week old. They're not for the launch party. They were for Albion. Astra, I'm over 100 years old. Cookies that are a few days old aren't going to kill me. Before I get another chance to protest, she takes a big bite from a gingerbread man. She chews for a second, and then her eyes widen. Astra, this is delicious. You're joking, right? They're a mess. They don't even look the same. They're not perfect, no, but that's the beauty of it. The fact that they all have slightly different faces, it's adorable. I can tell they were made with love. I bristle at the word. Love? Sylphia takes another cookie, then winks at me, smiling like she's figured out something I haven't. I think you're really close, Astra. She disappears in the break room, leaving me staring at the basket of cookies. I think of the shopping trip, the catering order, and now this. I feel like I should save. let me save. Okay. I want to confront him directly, but we are at work. And he has been pushing me away with his wind magic, so I feel like I should just leave him a note. My shift is already over, but it doesn't matter. I grab a pen and tear a sheet off the memo pad. The words come quickly before I can overthink them. Albion, can we please talk after your shift? I promise it'll only be about work. When he turns to clean the milk steamer, I slip the note on the counter beside his station. For a moment, I think that's enough. Well, before I can stop myself, I write another. If you truly, truly don't want to talk to me, then it's okay. I won't hold it against you. I set it down next to the first, the two scraps of paper side by side like a pair of open hands. Then I sit to myself at a far table to wait. Finally, Albion picks up the memo. I realize I'm holding my breath. He looks up, rounding the counter, and he comes to a stop at my table. You realize my shift doesn't end for another 3 hours. Music to my ears. That means he's agreeing to talk. That's fine. I'll wait. You're gonna wait here? For 3 hours? Yes. For you, anything. Okay. For a second, I think he's about to walk off without another word, but then he turns back to the counter, pours a cortado, and brings it over. The surface ripples slightly, cooled by his magic. Oh my god, he made me a little coffee to sip. We'll talk after work. I can't help the smile that spreads across my face. That's Albion for you. Stubborn, frustrating, impossible to read, and yet somehow still so quietly, unexpectedly kind. I lose count of how many cups of coffee I've had. Sylvia's gone home for the day, and the cafe quieted hours ago. 3 hours later, Albion finally walks over. He looks as composed as ever, but there's something in the set of his shoulders that tells me he's exhausted. So, what do you want to talk about? Do you know why Sylvia kept assigning us all those tasks together? It's obvious. She wants us to improve our teamwork. That's not it! Words come out faster than I mean them to, but I can't stop now. What she's been trying to tell us is that we were trying to make the blend and the dessert separately. We've been trying to force them to match after the fact instead of creating them together. Albion's eyes widen. Then he shakes his head. Working separately is fine. I'll keep trying your desserts, Astra. We'll pick the one that complements the signature blend the most, even if it's not perfect. Once I recreate the blend. That's exactly the problem. All I've been doing is try to match your blend, Albion. But you should be trying to match my desserts too. We should be meeting in the middle. We can't. I freeze. His voice isn't sharp. It's heavy. Final. And in that moment, looking at him, I finally see it. The exhaustion etched into his features, the weight behind his calm. It was never about the menu upgrade. Never about Bloom. Recreating that blend is Albion's purpose. A faint draft brushes against my arm. At first, I think nothing of it, just a breeze slipping through the cracks of the old cafe windows. Did someone leave the door open? The air shifts again, sharper this time. The napkins on the counter lift, fluttering like startled birds. No, it's Albion! He doesn't respond. The wind coils around him, fast and chaotic. Chairs scrape, papers scatter, and the sugar jar tips over, spilling across the floor. It's like a miniature storm has come alive inside the cafe. Not again. This time the current is stronger, wilder. Everything light enough to move spins in the air, swirling in a dizzying cyclone. The air roars in my ears, cold and biting. A loud thump. Albion's knees hit the ground. Astra, just go. It'll stop soon. His voice is strained, roughened by effort. He's trying to pacify his breathing, but it's no use. The winds only grow harsher. He can't control it? Is it because he's been using his magic too much? I take a step towards him, wind whipping at my hair, my eyes stinging from the force. Astra, go! He's kneeling in the middle of the storm, one hand braced on the floor, the other clenched tight as if he could hold the air by sheer will. His hair and clothes whip wildly around him, caught in the cyclone he's struggling to contain. I'm not going anywhere. I don't understand. I'm a mess. Make me understand. The storm howls louder, tugging at the chairs, rattling the glass. I dig my heels into the floor, one arm shielding my face as I take another step forward. You think I'm scared of wind? Think I'll just run away because it's messy or because you can't control it right now? His head lifts. The anguish in his eyes cuts sharper than the wind. I'm not gonna leave you alone, Albion. I'll stay with you no matter what happens. For a heartbeat, everything stops. The roar, the chaos, the sound of my own heartbeat. Albion stares at me like I've said something impossible. Then slowly, the wind begins to ease. The swirling napkins fall. The papers drift down like tired snow. I take one final step forward and rest a trembling hand on his shoulder. He exhales, long and unsteady, but he doesn't move away, or he doesn't have the strength to. Let me take you home. But the cafe, we have to clean. We'll come in early and clean it tomorrow. For now, let's go home. He doesn't argue. The fight drains from his voice, leaving only quiet exhaustion. When he finally nods, it feels like the storm has ended for both of us. The inside of Albion's apartment smells faintly of roasted beans. Everything is as immaculate as I remember, though tonight the orderliness feels less like pride and more like a shield. Albion crosses to the couch and sinks into it, his posture still rigid. I close the door behind us and take a cautious seat next to him, leaving enough space to not be intrusive. He looks so tired. I've never seen him like this before. His head tilts back against the cushion. The dim light catches the edges of his face, softening the sharp lines I'd always associated with him. Albion. He turns slightly, eyes half-lidded but attentive, waiting. You don't have to tell me everything. I just want to understand. For a moment, the only sound is his quiet breathing. Then, finally, he speaks, his voice low and hesitant, like he's learning how to use it again. You want to understand? Yes. I wasn't born among elves, but they're the only family I've ever known. I was found when I was young. I was barely old enough to walk. A pair of elves took me into their village. They were the ones who gifted me the stopwatch. The stopwatch I tried to touch. They were kind to me, but there was always a distance. Elves are born with deep connections to the elements. Some can summon storms, others can command the forest to bloom. Elven magic flows as easily as breath. But He takes a slow breath before continuing. I studied really hard. I worked for years to perfect my magic. But even then, it wasn't enough. All I could do was bend the wind a little. For an Arya, that's a normal. In an elven village, it's shameful. I swallow, unsure of what to say. My parents and I would make coffee together in the morning. There in the kitchen. The difference didn't matter. He finally meets my eye. In the kitchen, we were equals. Every morning they'd make coffee, and I'd watch the steam curl. Eventually I learned to do it myself. That was the one place I didn't feel different. They had a special blend. Sweet, rich, perfectly balanced. The others in the village came by just to taste it. It was theirs, and for a while mine too. But I could never quite make it the way they did. No matter how many times I tried, it never tasted the same. That's why he worked so hard to recreate the blend. It's a reminder of his childhood. He's been chasing something he never quite got. Perfection and belonging. He spent all this time chasing something perfect, but maybe it was never meant to be perfect in the first place. His brows draw together, hurt, but he doesn't interrupt. I've been doing the same thing, you know, trying to make desserts that match your blend exactly. Changing them over and over, thinking if I just worked hard enough, I'd make something good enough for you. I think of the gingerbread men I made, not to impress anyone, but simply because I wanted to see him smile and share them with them. But maybe the little flaws are what make things special. Maybe that's true for your blend too. What if what made your parents' blend so perfect wasn't the flavor, but the moments? The mornings you spent together, the people who drank it, the warmth. I smile faintly, even though my voice wavers. Maybe you've been trying to recreate something that was never about coffee to begin with. Albion stares at me for a long time, like he's turning my words over in his mind. Then finally, he looks away, scoffing softly. You always make things sound simpler than they are. Maybe things don't have to be as complicated as you make them. A silence settles between us again, but this time, it's different. Lighter. Not a wall, but a quiet space we're both standing in. Let's make something together, Albion. The blend, the dessert, all of it. Yay! We're gonna get the good ending! Yippee! For a moment, he just watches me. The air between us is still, quiet. Then slowly, Albion makes a sound that's half a sigh, half a laugh. Together, huh? Yes. We don't have to get it right the first time. We can just try. His lips twitch into an almost smile. You make it sound easy. It doesn't have to be easy. It just has to be ours. I seem to catch him off guard. For a heartbeat, the wall that's so carefully built around him for a second finally cracks. All right. We'll try it your way. I blink, unsure if I've heard him right. You mean it? I do, but if it fails, you're telling Sylphia. Deal. The tension that's hung over us for so long finally starts to melt. He leans back slightly, his gaze softening. You really don't give up, do you? One of the things worth fighting for. He looks at me for a long moment, something unreadable in his eyes, and then quietly, he reaches over and tucks a stray strand of hair behind my ear. Then, I suppose I'll just have to keep up with you. Oh my gosh. Kicking my feet, twisting my hair. Tee. Okay, so maybe if you use less dark roast, the one that smells like burnt toast. It's not burnt, it's bold. It's bitter. The soft hum on the oven fills the kitchen, mingling with the gentle crackle of the beans roasting nearby. The air smells like sugar and coffee, sweet and alive. Despite Albion's best efforts to clean as we go, flour dusts the counter, coffee cups clutter the table, each one marked with notes in my messy handwriting. Somewhere between the second and third blend attempt, I've lost track of which mug belongs to which recipe. You added honey to the last one. Exactly! I'm saving your taste buds. He gives me a look of exasperation before returning to the grinder. You can't just throw ingredients together and call it research. Actually, I can. He pauses mid-pour. What? I did some reading the past couple of days about blending ratios, acidity, and how temperature affects extraction. Look at me using coffee words. He raises an eyebrow, clearly skeptical, but intrigued. Go on, then. Impress me. Well, maybe if we mix the lighter roast with a pinch of the darker one, it could balance out the sharpness. Not too sweet, not too bitter. Kind of like your berry compote tart. He says it before I can, then looks faintly surprised at himself. Did he just compare my dessert to his coffee? If you're asking, then yes, that works. The lighter roast will open up the flavor while the darker notes anchor it. He glances at me, that unreadable calm giving way to something temperate. So you're saying my idea wasn't terrible? I'm saying I've already tried that, but decent effort. I chuckle. That's a compliment coming from you. He shakes his head, but there's a quiet smile tugging at the corner of his mouth as he measures out the beans. The oven timer dings, the smell of baked sugar and fruit fills the kitchen. Albion and I exchange a look that's half challenge, half excitement. Moment of truth. I pull on the mitts and open the oven door. A wave of hot air rolls out, carrying the scent of caramelized berries and buttery crust. Yummy. Before the searing heat can hit me, a current of air rushes past and diverts it away. Albion's magic, instinctive, effortless. I can't help but smile. The tart gleams faintly in the light, edges golden, filling, bubbling gently. Looks good. You sound surprised. Given your last attempt nearly set my oven on fire, yes, a little. That was an accident. I slide the tart onto the counter. Albion fetches 2 forks while I cut a slice, the crust flaking perfectly beneath the knife. We each take a bite at the same time. Oh my god, we're sharing a tart together. Also, Toya! Hi, Toya! We're on the good ending right now. Teehee. Let me drink my coffee. Thank you for the hydrate. Yeah, hi, Toya. Oh. Are we a human? Yeah, we're a human. And he... Well, it's not just an elf. There's like a whole bunch of different races. There's elves and dragon spirits and nymphs, and there's all kinds of spirits. How do we know it's a good ending? Because it literally said it's the good ending. It literally said Albion good ending. What do you mean, how do I know it's the good ending? It literally had it in bold text. As Albion would say, it's not bad, but it's different. Not the soft sweetness I expected. There's something deeper, slightly tangy, with an unexpected heat at the end. Could be a misdirect. I don't think the game's gonna misdirect me like that. Did you add something new? No, I followed the recipe. Exactly. Really? Because this tastes like there's spice in it. Like cinnamon. He freezes. Just for a second. Wait. He glances towards the small collection of jars and tins neatly arranged in a row. Then he exhales, pressing a hand to his forehead. I think I used the wrong tin. What? That wasn't nutmeg, it was cinnamon. I've been blending a spiced roast recently and must have gotten mixed in. You accidentally added coffee spice to the tart? It seems so. That explains it. I can't believe it. Mr. Perfect went rogue in the middle of baking. You're exaggerating. You spiced my tart. That's basically rebellion. His ears tint red. If it's terrible, I'll remake it. Don't you dare. It's unique. Ours. For a long moment, neither of us speak. The oven hums softly behind us, the scent of sugar and spice still hanging in the air. I think this is it. The one. I take another bite, savoring the new flavor. The warmth of the cinnamon folded into the tart sweetness of the berries. It's unlike anything we've made before. It's not bad. The flavor's unexpected, but balanced. Kind of like us, then. He looks at me, and for the first time, he doesn't look away. Oh my god, look at him. He's so cute. The quiet stretches between us, wrought with everything we've ever said. The hum of the oven fades into the background, and even the air seems to still. He is impossible, infuriating, and right now he's the most perfect thing I've ever seen. Before I can talk myself out of it, I lean forward and press my lips to his. Oh my god. The touch is like the first sip of coffee in the morning, warm, a little hesitant, and gone too quickly. When I pull back, he's staring at me, wide-eyed and utterly frozen. I've broken Albion. I wait a beat and then say, first time? His ears turn pink instantly. No. That sounds like a lie. My own heart is pounding. Then prove it. Something in his expression changes, hesitation replaced by intemperance. He steps forward, closing the space between us in one sure motion. The world tilts. My back hits the counter, the breath catching in my throat as his mouth meets mine. The world outside the kitchen disappears. There's only the scent of the cinnamon and sugar, the low hum of the oven, the warmth of him, closer than he's ever been. The rest of reality fades away. Oh my gosh. The day of the launch party arrives. We smooched, you guys. Oh my god, we kissed. The scent of coffee fills the air before the doors even open. Warm, rich, familiar. Outside, a small crowd is already gathered, their chatter blending with the soft hum of the city. Flowers in soft pastel tones adorn each table, their petals catching the light from the cafe windows and casting gentle color across the polished counters and gleaming cups. I smooth down the front of my apron and glance towards Albion. He's adjusting and readjusting the new display board, the words Cafe Bloom Launch Party written neatly in chalk, the edges adorned with little coffee beans and sunflowers that a local artist helped design. Below the large font, there is a smaller subtitle. Come try our cinnamon-kissed berry tart with the new signature blend, First Bloom. Albion looks calm, but I can tell he's nervous too. Sylvia unlocks the front door, her smile bright and welcoming. All right, everyone, let's make this day one to remember. The first guest arrives are familiar faces, our regulars. There's the elderly couple who always share a single slice of cake and 2 cups of cappuccino, the group of students who fill the corner table with laughter, even the Dwarven courier who insists on getting his coffee to go but always ends up staying anyway. Each customer greets us warmly, their eyes wide as they see the new display of desserts and menu highlighting the signature blend. Oh, this smells amazing! You've outdone yourself this time, Sylvia. Thank you, but all the credit goes to my team. She gestures towards us, and for a moment, the cafe feels alive in a way that words can't quite capture. It's full of chatter, clinking cups, and the comforting rhythm of brewing coffee. Somewhere between brewing and plating desserts, a familiar voice calls from the doorway. Hey, superstar! Look at this place, it's incredible! Quinn, you made it! Wouldn't miss it for the world. You pulled this off, huh? We did. Here, First Bloom, on the house. Oh, dangerous. You trust me with this? They grab the cream dispenser immediately and start pouring. A splash turns into a stream and the rich brown coffee lightens with every swirl until it's nearly white. Typical Quinn. Then the door swings open again and in strides in the familiar, well-dressed elf with his sharp suit, polished shoes, and an unmistakably self-satisfied grin. Ah, Cafe Bloom. I knew I smelled success from halfway down the street. I can't help but smile. Welcome back. Are you here for the catering review or just for the free samples? Can it be both? He winks before accepting a small plate of pastries and a cup of coffee from Albion. Despite everything, Albion serves him with precision, his movements professional. Brilliant as always. Truly, your coffee has no rival. He takes a sip, then leans back, satisfied. I glance at Albion. He nods once in acknowledgement, the faintest hint of pride crossing his features. As more guests arrive, the cafe hums with life. The lights seem warmer, the air richer, with laughter and soft conversation. For a moment, it feels like everything's fallen into place, the culmination of every sleepless night, every trial, every ounce of effort. Sylvia was right. The cafe really did need this. I wipe my hands on my apron and turn towards Albion, who's finishing up another pour at the counter. He looks more relaxed today. The usual tension in his shoulders is gone. He's smiling. Just a little bit, but it's there. I turn back to restocking the display, trying to hide my own grin. Before I can say anything, I hear his footsteps approaching from behind. He stops just behind me, close enough that I can feel the faint brush of his sleeve against my arm. Albion? He doesn't answer. My heart skips a beat. Is he going to... right here? In the middle of the cafe? He lifts his hand and I still myself. Instead, he takes hold of the back of my apron, spins me gently around, and ties the loose ribbon in one smooth motion. He's just tying my apron. Of course he is. He gives the ribbon a neat tug, the knot snug and perfectly centered. And then as he steps back, his fingers brush mine, light and deliberate. Oh my god, he tied my apron for me. So romantic. He did that on purpose. When I glance up, he's already smiling, soft and knowingly, before he turns and walks back towards the counter. You two seem to be working well together these days. What? Of course, we're just co-workers. That's all. Really? Because it looked like he was about to kiss you a moment ago. Heat floods my face. Of course not. We're not... I mean, not officially. I stop mid-sentence. Right. We never made it official. Wait, does that mean we actually... Let's say, hypothetically, we were. Would that be a problem? A problem? Hardly. That would be a breakthrough for him. She chuckles, glancing towards Albion, who's handing a plate of berry tarts to a customer with surprising ease. If anything, it might even help the cafe. Sylvia, please. But she just winks at me, her laughter blending with the soft music and chatter of the crowd. I let myself laugh too, quietly, freely, without the weight of worry. The cafe feels brighter than ever. We did it. Together, at last. Yippee! It's late, past closing time, past the hour when either of us should still be awake. The lights in Albion's apartment are low, the air thick with the faint scent of roasted beans and cinnamon clinging to our clothes. We're sitting side by side on the couch, flushed and breathless from the kind of kiss that leaves you dizzy and giddy all at once. Oh my god, we're making out on the couch right now? Sheesh. Albion's hair is slightly mussed and he's breathing a little unevenly, his usual composure replaced by something softer, more human. Right now, neither of us is thinking about ratios, recipes, or roasting times. He's sitting so close I can feel the warmth of his hand on mine. The words slip out before I can think twice. I like you. Will you go out with me? We're doing this out of order. Oh, what's the proper order then? Coffee first, then confession? Usually people go on dates before they kiss. I snicker. Getting shy on me now? It's too late for that. We're innovators. We do things differently here. He shakes his head, but he's smiling now. Really smiling. The kind that softens everything about him. And yes, I'd be honored to go out with you. Kicking my little feeties right now. I can't help the grin that spreads across my face. Make it sound like you're agreeing to a business proposal. I'm trying to be thorough. Of course you are. He leans back against the couch, his arm brushing against mine. The silence between us feels warm, easy. A week ago, that silence was uncertain and brutal, but now it feels like home. I've been thinking about something. You always are. About the blend. Our blend? Right, our blend. First bloom. Hearing him say that name still sends a small thrill through me. I was worried what we made wouldn't last, that the balance would fade, but it hasn't. It's clear he isn't talking about the blend. Maybe that's because the balance isn't something you keep, it's something you keep finding. He hums softly at that, thoughtful. Then, after a moment, I think I'm still finding mine. Good thing I'm here to help. He glances at me, amused, then reaches over to take my hand. His fingers are warm. Outside, the city wind brushes against the window pane, soft and gentle like a lullaby. If this is what imperfection looks like, I wouldn't trade it for anything. You have flour on your shirt. He huffs, sending a half-lidded and playful glare in my direction. And whose fault is that? Mine, probably. His fingers tighten around mine. I rest my head on his shoulder, and for a long, quiet moment, we just sit there. Two people who are finally learning how to stop chasing perfection and simply be. The air smells like sugar and coffee again. Ours. Yay! Such a cute ending, dude. Oh, that was so precious. I loved it. I loved it. Peak. Let's see if I can get his next time I play. By the way, this game, you guys, is free. So if you also want to play a certain route, like maybe you want to have some Wolf Girl Yuri in your life, you can in fact download this game for free on Steam right now and get your Wolf Girl Yuri fix. Or if you want to see the other endings for other characters as well, which it is linked in the YouTube description. Let me also grab the link off of Steam so I can post it in the chat as well. There we go. So paste. There we go. So there's the link to the Steam page. Like I said, it is free. It is a totally free game. So if you want to support the devs, you can wishlist it, or you can just straight up download it. Straight up download it. Like I said, it's free. It's free. There's literally no reason not to just play this game for yourself. Like I said, there's beautiful, beautiful men in this, but also you could have some wolf girl Yuri in this if you really like some Yuri. And I know a lot of you in my chat like Yuri. We are birds of a feather. We understand each other. And they're roommates. It's roommate wolf girl Yuri, just for the extra cherry on top if that sells this game to you as well. Like I said, please, please, please support the devs. I'm so excited for this week. I can't wait to play even more otome games all week. I'm so happy that I could be a part of the otome game celebration. I'm such a romance fiend right now, dude. I've been craving my romance. Oh, and this was so much fun. I really, really, really like this. I love like the modern fantasy. I think is such a fun world building setting. I think there's so much you can do with modern fantasy, and I think more people need to dabble in a classic modern fantasy like this. Oh, it's so cute, so cute. And I'm a big coffee shop fan, so there's just a lot appealing to me with this one. So I was really glad I could be a part of showing this one off. But for now, let's see. Is there anybody else also playing Bloom right now? I wonder. I'm the only one playing Bloom right now. Teehee. Then who shall we raid? Everybody's doing ASMR right now. Maybe we'll raid somebody doing some ASMR. We'll keep the vibes cozy. Cozy and soft and comfy. So we're gonna raid Fleetlix, who is currently doing some cozy cat girl ASMR. Tomorrow we will be playing, I believe, Fate's Masquerade, which is like very much like a romance fantasy manhwa inspired visual novel, which I'm also excited for. Definitely a different tone from this one. This one's very short, sweet, fluffy. Fate's Masquerade is very much more like dramatic, royal palace drama, sort of like romance. So different vibes, but still keeping the romance trend. Can't wait to play it tomorrow. So hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow for day 2 of Otome Game Celebration. But if not, no worries. I'll see you when I see you. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. And good night.